across the grid. Are they going to all make it through the hook and oblivion cleanly? It looks like they're going to. Little wheel touch in the background, but all drivers still facing up the right way as we head up the long run to Christmas. Big slide there from your leader. Fantastic bit of braking work. Maybe the tyres not as warm as they wanted. Bit of contact through Christmas corner, but all the drivers just about making it through, all facing the right direction as we head down into Ashby. Good start from your leader. I believe it's Stefanov who has made his way into the lead. Moves going on further down the pack, just about making it through, all still jostling for position on this opening lap. But good start from all of the drivers there.
Now, I wonder what happened there at Christmas corner, because there wasn't just one sideways action from your race leader. There was sideways action all down the pack, but luckily managed to still be a smooth start for our Junior Max C final. Obviously, the top 4 spots are the only spots that matter in this final. These are the drivers that will go through to the B final. We were saying, wouldn't it be great to see someone go straight through to the A final from the B final? But now your leader is under some serious pressure now from Cody Cruddington, who has made his way up into 2nd position. Hakeem back now up back into 1st after he lost out on the lead. But here is the battle. Bit further down the pack, this is car number 135, Ralph Ryatakis, who has got some work to do if he wants to make it up into that 4th position.
I have to say, it doesn't really look like Stefanov was under pressure there. It looks like he's just out there having fun getting on the brakes up to Christmas. It's a really big braking zone, but with it being uphill, you can brake really, really late, especially in these very light and very strong braking Junior Max cars. But Stefanov holds on to the lead ahead of Cody Cruddington, but they're bumper to bumper. You can see them going through shot there. Sam Green Gomez, I think, having a look for 3rd position ahead of Hakeem Bart. With not the start they wanted, starting on pole. Change for the lead, though. Cody Cruddington up to 1st place ahead of Stefanov, and there's a car retired there. That's Finley M. Cass. Wow. That's a real shame. They started really well on this. Started 19th in this one, and they're already out of the chances for the repechage. But here are your leaders then, already breaking away. A good 2nd between them. Cruddington followed by Stefanov. Move, having a look for 3rd place was Green Gomez there. They've got the fastest lap on this one, but not quite able to make the move stick into 3rd place. But like we said, the top 4 from this one go through, and I was about to say they've got a good gap behind them in 3rd and 4th, but they definitely don't now. That battling has cost them big time, and Ralph Ryatakis in 5th position has caught up to them big time.
Ralph Ryatakis, he is in the firing line here. He is in the hot spot. He's going to be the only driver to miss out. Are we going to see a move down the inside for the 4th position? Yes, we are. Speaking of, makes the move down the inside. Was that for 3rd?
That was for 3rd place,
that
yes.
That was for 3rd place. Oh, and we have another move down the inside. Ralph Ryatakis, speaking of, goes for that position into the B final, but he doesn't quite make a stick, and he drops back behind that car number 31 of Kaheem Pahat, who's trying to make his way back up into those positions. So far, your drivers who are making it into the B final are Cruddington, Stefanov, Pahat and Green Gomez. Not sure if that's changed since the last time they came around the line. Through the last chicane, and let's have a look as they come over the line. But your race leader, 3/10 gap, he's managing it well, and he is your fastest man on track right now. Well, he was, but he is not anymore. Stefanov takes that, and someone else takes it also.
Joseph Baxter with the fastest lap. But who you can see on screen now, you have Cruddington and Stefanov have broken away big time. Sam Green Gomez with this clearly superior pace to Bat has just about managed to squeeze through. And now Hakeem Bat is in that really, really tricky position of having to cling on to that last repechage position. It's all about being in that top 4. As I say that though, we've had 3 penalties all in the top 5. Cody Cruddington, your leader, has a 5-second penalty. Ralph Ryatakis has a 3-second penalty, and Sam Green Gomez has a 5-second penalty. With the gap that Cody Cruddington's got, they really need to get their head down. He might be able to make 5 seconds count and keep that repechage position, but Hakeem Bart in 4th place is holding on well here. Decent gap behind. Oh, not for long though. Move up from Ellis Dealey into the last repechage position, up from 5th to 4th. That's really crucial. And now this is your battle, headed up by Ellis Dealey just for that last position, notwithstanding those penalties, which will probably change the result of this one after the race. But here we go then. 3.5 minutes still left to go, and Ellis Dealey holds on to that last repechage position in 4th.
You're right, those penalties are going to change the result of this race, absolutely. So we are going to have to wait till the end to figure out which 4 drivers make it in, but it is absolutely not over yet because we have 3 minutes to go, and it is still Cruddington who leaves, Stefanov, Sam Green Gomez and Kaheem Pahat. Some with penalties, but we will have to see afterwards what happens with that. Ralph Ryatakis, who was doing a good job to contend for that final spot, has just missed out, but obviously he might be looking up now because of the penalties that have been given.
Yeah, I think at the moment it's Crudgington and Green Gomez will drop out of the top 4, and Rakaitis will as well. He'll drop down probably to around about a 12th position if we're going off what the timings are saying at the moment. But speaking of Rakaitis, he loses another place to Harry Sturch, who's now in that effective repechage spot, up into 6th place. So he may not know it, but that's a really, really important move for him to get up into the B final later on this afternoon. But Rakaitis is not done yet. Robust move up into the boot. Just about gets 6th position back ahead of Harry Sturch, and now on the hunt for Hakeem Bart, who's lost out after a really good start from their side of the grid. But the pole man dropping down to 5th, not quite being able to hold this one out in front. Speaking of out in front, Cody Crudgington is pulling away with some really quick laps, a 1 second gap in the lead, but a reminder that he has a 5-second penalty. So unless he can get 5 seconds on, it would be, I think, 4th place, then he's not going to hold this one after that penalty is instated at the end of this race. But this is your battle on the road. You are watching the 10th place driver under pressure from Ruben Jenkins of the number 39 in 11th place. There's still time in this one to make up those positions. If it all kicks off in front, these drivers know it's just that top 4 they have to be in to make up the places. But obviously every point does count in this one. 1 minute and a half left to go. Cody Crudgington leads. There is Ralph Rakaitis on the back of Hakeem Bart. Driver out there, the number 127. That is Aiden Donnelly with a wheel off down on one of the sections of the track. I think it's just on the right side of your shot, but really unfortunate for them. Going to retire out of this one, and that will be the end of their day. Here is your battle for 6th place. Yet at 5th place, apology. Hakeem Bart has lost out to Ralph Rakaitis up into 5th place. That's really important, but Ralph does have that penalty. Hakeem actually doesn't need to fight this one. He just needs to hold off Harry Sturch, as this... Actually, no, both of them will be in those positions as long as the gaps don't change.
The question is, do these drivers know that? Because it's not just the top 4 that matter in this race. But they're not going to know that yet, so they don't want to make any moves that is going to harm that in any way, because, like you said, Ralph Rakaitis was going at it for his opportunity, but the penalty is looking like he is going to be out of that now. Move for 2nd place, that is Sam Green Gomez down the inside. Looking like his opportunity is into the B final, looking better, but has he got a penalty? Yeah, he's got the 5-second penalty, so it's good for him to try and make up the time, but I don't think he's got enough to make up the gap. Stefanov doesn't know it, but he's in the effective lead of this race after the penalties are applied. So yeah, it'd be good for him not to battle, but he's got a decent gap behind. He can get his head down. 10 seconds plus 1 lap left to go. I think we're going to have 2 more to go on this one. Ellis Dealey in the background catching up on this 2nd place pack. Meanwhile, Cody Crudgington not even in the shot up in the foreground. Just about you could see him going through the first corner. But the clock strikes 0, so we're going to have this lap plus 1 more to go. Changes down. Further down the order, you can see the time is changing there. Joseph Baxter, your fastest man on track, up from 24th up to 10th in this one. Fantastic drive, potentially making up the moves to get into the C final, excuse me. Fantastic stuff from them. And also Layla Fitzgerald losing a position out of that, and Harry Watson going from 10th to 8th on that last lap. This is your battle for 5th position, headed up by Ralph Rakaitis. And Hakeem Bart and Harry Sturch behind them without the penalties will benefit from this. But do they have the gaps are starting to stretch out now? Cody Crudgington, I think, might be doing enough to hold on to this with the penalty. Just to remind you, Crudgington has a 5-second penalty. Green Gomez has a 5-second penalty. 2 drivers off there. Who's that? 58 and someone else? Not quite sure who that is on the left side there, but drivers out the kart looking okay. Marshall's doing some fantastic work pulling the karts out of the way, but here is your battle for 2nd position. Ellis Dealey having a look all over the back, but through that yellow flag section, can't make the moves work. Here is your leader, Cody Crudgington, like we say, with that 5-second penalty, but might have done enough here. They're 5.7 seconds ahead of 5th place, so they're going to end up 4th in this one, but they will get a repechage as long as they come home with that 5-second gap intact. 2 seconds is the gap behind him to Sam Green Gomez, and just a fantastic drive here, barring that penalty, to round out the Junior Max C final and make their way into the B final in those repechage positions. Cody Crudgington wins with Sam Green Gomez in 2nd. Ellis Dealey gets the move on the last lap ahead of Stefanov. Ralph Rakaitis, Hakeem Bart and Harry Sturch are your top 7, with Baxter making their all up to 8th place from 24th. Fantastic drive from them. Harry Watson and Ruben Jenkins round out your top 10, but at the moment, where did we finish in that one? 6 seconds the leader had back to 4th, so I believe they will repechage, but Sam Green Gomez won't.
Or will they? Because Ralph Rakaitis has the... No, I believe it's going to be Crudgington, Dealey, Stefanov and Hakeem Bart, I think, are going to be your repechage drivers.
You are right. We're going to have to get a fact check after all of those penalties in the top 5. But what a drive from Cody Cunnington. Not only has he set the fastest lap, but he set the purple sectors, the purple laps that he needed to set to make that gap for himself. Because at one point in that race, it was looking unlikely.
Exactly, yeah. It was about, I think, only 2 seconds the gap to 4th around about when he got into the lead, but he got the hammer down, put in those fast, consistent laps, and that is incredibly impressive. When you look at the laps the rest of the field are doing, they're barely separated by a second from first down to last. So putting in that 5-second gap over 5th place is incredible work. So good job from Cody Crutchington, despite the penalty. These results, like we say, are provisional. We will confirm that once we see the B final who gets the repechage position. Oh no, Rupert Jenkins really not happy with himself there. I think he's got the nose cone penalty potentially, but it's a shame for them. And yeah, drivers just filing through. A couple handshakes in the background. Lovely to see. Good rapport between these drivers.
This is what the sun brings out. It brings out happy teams, happy friends, happy drivers, and plenty of people watching. We've seen during the unfortunate red flag situations, all the teams and all the drivers enjoying the sun. I am getting deja vu, I'm not going to lie, because if I'm being honest, at round 1, if anyone remembers the situation we had with the B, there is a wasp in here right now, but we're just going to slowly pretend that that's not happening as we watch the final few of our Junior Max C finalists heading through. Unfortunately, these are the drivers that we will not be seeing anymore today, even though if they have good news or bad news, but it is bad news for the car number 52 of Hugh Phillips to end his day off.
Yeah, that's a shame. Obviously, we were talking a lot about the repechage in that, but even with this extended grid, you're still going to get the points for where you finish in the C final, and this being so early in the season, it all does matter. And yeah, I'm just wondering if that was that wasp was potentially could have been Henry making a spiritual appearance, pestering us in here, trying to get his 2 cents in. But yes, we are clear of wasps, thankfully. But yeah, up next we are going to have your X30 Senior Final heading to you shortly. That is the first of our finals. Obviously, we have the Junior Max B and A final later today, but it's the X30 and the Senior Maxes up to go in the next few minutes. Just waiting here while drivers are getting ready. We do have a scheduled break, which I'm not sure we're taking. So we're going to confirm that to you in a minute, but in the meantime, we are going to wait excitedly for the senior finals. Should be really good fun. It's the X30 Senior, just a standalone final coming up next with the Senior Max B final and their A final later on today. No break, it seems. Senior X30 is going to be coming out very shortly, which is great for us because we're going to get all this action over to you.
Back with us already.
Oh, yes. I can't wait. All of these finals, this is obviously what all of these drivers have been working for in these heats today. And the Senior Max, the X30 Seniors, apologies, is going to have it all to play for in 10 minutes plus a lap in the next few minutes.
And these races have been interesting so far. There is many drivers in Senior X30 that have been waiting for their opportunity. Drivers who have been unlucky here in round 1, or drivers who have clean sweeped, like Nat Johnston. Nat Johnston here last round, he completely clean sweeped, and then he did not finish in the first or second heat of the day. He had a bit of an unlucky run, and then I think finished P6 in the one after that. So there's going to be a few unhappy and eager faces. Morgan Moore is one to watch out for though. Brilliant day. We have seen that driver go through the field in various club championships recently. And that will be one to look out for. Macy Hitter, another person for Jade Racing. She is currently doing a Formula 4 test program with Storm Motorsport. She is keeping herself sharp here at Wilton Mill in the club championships this weekend. She's been doing really well, breaking into that top 10 in each of the heats. She'll be one to watch. But let's have a look at our starting grid for the main event for our Senior X30s today. Morgan Moore and Sam Lewis are on the front row of the grid, joined by Tristan Powell and Joey Brown on row 2, Aaron Brown and Lewis Bird on row 3. Scott Riley and Macy Hitter are next. Oliver Meek and Max Ewell are after that, and Sebastian Dew and Jensen Buckingham are on row 6. Row 7 is Oliver Pecula and Archie Heroin. Row 8, Leif Khan and CJ Bennett. Row 9 is Jack Stewart and Nat Johnston. Bailey Brooker and Alfie Gallagher are next, and row 11 then will be Max Cooper and Archie Forber, Charlie Phillips and James Harris. Rounding out your top 28 drivers is Noah Sales, Oliver Keenan, Isabel Banks and Alexander D. Benedictis. Ella Rowe and Jack Middleton then are next, and rounding out your Senior X30 final grid is William Omar, Reese Barber and Dylan Patel.
Big old grid for this one-off X30 Senior final. Sam Lewis, like you say, is going to take us. Apologies, Morgan Moore is going to be on pole for this one. Drivers out there. It's been quite a while since they were last out. So drivers getting their eye back in on the track, getting the cars all warmed up, ready for their final race of the day. This is where it all matters. So 10 minutes plus a lap they've got. We're going to see who comes out on top of this one, but it's been some great action so far. I can imagine that we're going to see some good racing in this one.
I think this is going to be interesting because there's a lot of drivers starting further down this grid that shouldn't necessarily be where they started and haven't been in the previous rounds. So I think this is going to be interesting. They've got 9 minutes plus a lap to make that time up, to make that groundwork up, so we will see.
Sam Lewis then on pole, alongside Morgan Moore on the left side of the grid, being pushed along. Not much he can do from there, but Morgan Moore being bumped his way through the tram lines we go, and towards the start of the Senior X30 final then. Both sides of the grid getting a great start, but Morgan Moore into the lead. Right side of the grid not getting a great start at all. Sam Lewis losing out a couple positions there, and the left side of the grid is going to get a great run up to Christmas. No incidents through the first couple corners. Are we going to see anything? Christmas! Oh, drivers all concertinaing, all coming together through Christmas. I think that was on the right side of the grid. It just all bunched up, and it ended up taking out a few of the drivers towards the head of the pack, so not a great start for them, but good start for some of the drivers over the back of the pack, making up some free positions early in this one.
You are right. That wasn't a great start for the right side of that grid, but Morgan Moore knew exactly what he was doing. There were some hands thrown in the air on the start, which obviously threw some people off, and Morgan Moore was straight into the lead. Now, the first lap is complete of this final, and that will be Morgan Moore leads. Tristan Powell, Joey Brown, Sam Lewis, Lewis Baird and CJ Bennett managed to make his way up 9 positions on the start on that first lap into that 6th place. Are we going to see a change for the race lead already? Yes, we are. Tristan Powell is racing no time, but this is also bringing Joey Brown straight into contention. He actually gets a better run than who was your race leader and makes the move up into 2nd place. That is your race leader now, down into 3rd in that Fusion Motorsport car. Here's a bit further down the pack, a change for 5th position. That is Lewis Baird.
Yeah, Morgan Moore losing out big time all the way. Once move up the inside, Lewis Baird having a look on Sam Lewis. His teammate doesn't quite make the move stick. But yeah, Morgan Moore losing out big time. This seems to happen all of the time in these senior cars. You lose 1 position and then you're out position. You lose 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see Morgan Moore's name dropping down the order, but he's still in this lead pack of 6 drivers. Tristan Powell heads this one up with a little bit of breathing space as we head into Christmas for the 3rd time. But it's Tristan Powell, retirement there for Jensen Buckingham. Shame to see that. But here is your lead pack once again. Tristan Powell heading this one up. Joey Brown in 2nd with Sam Lewis in 3rd. Lewis Baird in 4th, followed by Morgan Moore and CJ Bennett. Decent back there, gap down to Sebastian Dew in 7th place. But Nat Johnston behind with the fastest lap of the race, 45.75. Almost half a second quicker than this lead pack. They've really got plenty of time in this one still to make up those positions and get in amongst this lead pack. 7.5 minutes plus another lap to go. Here we go across the line once again.
You are right, into turn 1 they go. That is Nat Johnston setting the fastest lap of the race. He was setting the fastest lap of the race. He is up 10 positions already. He's done a brilliant job. Obviously a driver who we didn't expect to see that far down the grid for this final. He clean sweeped the last round, so he will be really eager. But there is your race leader, Tristan Powell, who wasted no time and got himself straight into the race lead. Joey Brown, Sam Lewis and Lewis Baird. Morgan Moore, though, unlucky start, because brilliant start for Morgan Moore into the race lead, and then unlucky first lap, putting him straight back down into 5th. But look at how close these drivers are getting. There is still no time between these top 6, so there is all to play for still. Look how close they are getting as they go over the line and into turn 1 once again, and that will be Morgan Moore to set the fastest lap. As we're saying it, that is a good commentator's curse in my opinion. We've got still just under 7 minutes to go. There's going to be defensive lines at the front. Is this going to make for a change in position? That car number 124 has a look but doesn't quite get the move done, but that Joey Brown has got the better run Then your race leader, there's a move down the inside for third position. That was Lewis Bird. Great to see Lewis Bird having a better run than he did in round one, but it's looking like it's getting defensive here at the front of the pack. It's really bunching everyone up. Lewis Bird looks like he's in for a good opportunity here. Joey Brown takes a look, but he doesn't quite get the move done. He's going to take a look down the inside and get the move done right before the final chicane, and that will be now Joey Brown that leads into the next lap of this race.
Tristan Powell evidently not thinking he's got the pace, defending with 7 minutes left to go, trying to bunch up the field behind him, maybe create some chaos, but he's on the receiving end of that chaos. And down into second place, they all go right side of the track as they head into Christmas Corner, but look at the carts behind. We told you Nat Johnson and Sebastian Dew would be wanting to get in amongst this, and all of this battling, they really have. It's only 2 seconds separate first and 9th place in this one. 9th place is Max Ewell with the fastest lap of the race. Everyone's still going defensive. The number 23 and Nat Johnston just about making it through the corner side by side with CJ Bennett. Move for the lead again. Joey Brown just holding on, but look at Morgan Moore coming up the inside. Fantastic opportunistic move. They got together ahead of him and he got up the inside of both of them. Brilliant racing, and that's let Lewis Bird go up. Joey Brown is down to second with Sam Lewis slotting in fourth. Tristan Powell all the way down to 5th place. They were side by side going into the boot, and it did not come off well, but it did for Morgan Moore, who takes the lead once again. Behind him, Max Ewell still with the fastest lap. Makes the move on Nat Johnston. The two teammates working together here in 7th and 8th place respectively, and they're on the back of this lead pack, which is now getting even bigger. Sebastian Dew, Laith Khan in this one. Oliver Pakula is just about a second and a half off the back of 10th place. So looking to make moves here. Still Linus Stern, a little bit of contact between the 1, 2, 4. Oh, on the grass goes Joey Brown, just about gets it, but gonna lose a few positions there. They all went for the same piece of tarmac and it just didn't work out. The number 1, 2, 4 of Sam Lewis getting up into 3rd, but look at the leaders now breaking away. Morgan Moore and Lewis Bird breaking away here.
I mean, look at that. What a brilliant move from your race leader into the race lead. No one even saw him coming there on that last lap into the final chicane, straight up into the race lead after dropping down. But this is how fast it happens. There is the car number 23, Nat Johnston, making the move on that car that is now just behind him. That is 78. That is
Laith Khan. I think Johnston's had an issue there.
Back up. Or is that Johnson that has made his way down the pack? That is unlucky, but Max Ewell still is your fastest man on circuit right now. Here you see Nat Johnson, who, you are right, unfortunately has dropped further down the pack. But once again, over the final chicane, and we've got just under 4 minutes to go. There is still so much time for your race leader to change here. Lewis Bird is just 2 tenths behind. You can see them off in the distance. But right now, your seniors going single file through the Christmas corner, and there is no change just yet further down this pack. This is the battle for 5th place. Max Ewell, your fastest man on circuit, is hunting down CJ Bennett, who has managed to make his way up into 5th place. Brilliant job so far, but there was your leader. We got a quick glimpse of Lewis Bird. Brilliant drive, looking like he really has the pace in this final to make it out on top. But Morgan Moore, we know, has been a very strong driver all day, all year. To be fair, it's been looking really good, and it's going to be a battle between these two. Sam Lewis, though, just under a second behind. These two can't start battling too soon because they are in touching distance. Through Christmas corner they go. No change just yet.
Yeah, Lewis Bird is playing this one smart. Probably has the pace to fight Morgan Moore, but not doing so. We've still got a good amount of time left in this race. But even despite the lack of battling, like you say, Sam Lewis is catching a couple tenths quicker on that last one, and he's bringing Tristan Powell and CJ Bennett with him. Max Ewell's still with the fastest lap of this race, putting in consistently low 45-second laps. No one in the 44s just yet, but through the boot we go. Once more through this fantastic Wilton Mill track. There are your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th drivers, all following through in very quick succession. Still only 4 seconds separates your top 10. Move maybe there for about 12th place, not making it stick. But your leaders go through the bottom of the shot there. Morgan Moore still heading this one up as we've got 2 minutes plus a lap to go, and it's all starting to close up again. Still a bit of a gap the front two have. Lewis Bird not choosing to fight Morgan Moore just yet. Still a good 3 or 4 laps left of this one, but Sam Lewis is catching. You can see the number of kart lengths is starting to close in. I think this is all going to come to a boil right at the end here. This is going to be a really good one, I reckon.
It absolutely is. Just under 2 minutes to go. You are right. Let's see what can happen because these two are getting even closer as they go around the boot and into the final chicane. I think that Lewis Bird is going to be on that back bumper even more than he has been before. But look how close this is getting for our Senior X30 final of Wilton Go-Kart Club Championships. Round 2, he takes a look behind him and realises he has no breathing space, no time, but takes the optimum line through Christmas Corner and gets a good exit, to be fair. Lewis Bird, though, looking really strong in this final and confident. Ripping up to him, you can see the power he had got. Looking back, though, seeing his teammate is right behind him there. They are all bunching up. CJ Bennett up 11 positions so far. Brilliant job so far in this final, working together with Max Ewell to try and catch that lead pack. But there is a move down the inside. Tristan Powell of Sam Lewis for 3rd position, change for the podium spot. Brilliant job as they head through the final chicane. Let's see what your race leaders can do.
Yeah, they were working really well together, but Tristan Powell wants to be the first one on the scene for this battle. Morgan Moore has had a fantastic few laps. That was a really, really crucial point of the race for Morgan Moore, just to edge out that section, because Lewis Bird can see them catching behind. He's going to start thinking, I don't want to be the first one they catch. I want to be in the lead of this one, even if it's that close. But Morgan Moore just about hanging on to enough space to stave off Lewis Bird. But Tristan Powell up into 3rd position, already breaking away slightly from Sam Lewis. CJ Bennett losing out to Max Ewell there. Max Ewell evidently thinking he's got the pace, which he does, still having the fastest lap of the race, up into 5th position. Great race from them so far, up from 16th place, all the way up to 5th now. But they've just about made it in time. Penultimate lap now as the clock strikes 0 just after they come through the line. 0 minutes plus a lap. So 2 laps left to go here. This front 5 have broken away, front 6, apologies, are clear of Joey Brown in 7th, who Joey Brown and Nat Johnston got involved in a little bit of a battle earlier, which Nat Johnston in particular came off on the wrong end of. But Morgan Moore still holding the lead on this one.
That is CJ Bennett now, who has ended up behind Nat Johnston. Not too sure what happened there. But there was a...
Here we go then. Last lap of the race. Morgan Moore still with a decent gap down from Lewis Bird and Tristan Powell. These top 4 have slightly broken away from Max Ewell and CJ Bennett. They haven't got the pace in this one with only 1 lap to go. I don't think they're going to have an opportunity to. But the gaps here in this top 4, I'm not sure if we're going to see one at all. Morgan Moore has held on just about enough. 1,000th of a second separated him and Lewis Bird behind him. These are the front 2 in your shot, but Lewis Bird was looking good through Ashby. Is he going to have a look through the boot? Morgan Moore not really having to defend yet because Lewis Bird just isn't close enough. Tristan Powell, is he going to get a good run through the midfield section? No one seems to have a good enough run to go for a move. Morgan Moore's going to come through the boot here, clinging on to the lead in all of this with a loose side pod flapping about. Oh, driver off at the end there on the last lap, Oliver Pecula. Real shame for them, but Morgan Moore is going to take the win of the Senior X30 final with Lewis Bird in 2nd. Tristan Powell in 3rd, Sam Lewis in 4th, Max Ewell in 5th. Great drive from him. CJ Bennett rounds out in 6th. Joey Brown, Nat Johnston, Laith Khan and Sebastian Dew round out your top 10. That had the potential to really kick off at the end there, but no one got close enough.
No, absolutely. We did expect to see, I expect to see more of a battle for the race lead at the end there, but brilliant job. Morgan Moore deserved that win for round 2. Lewis Bird is refreshing to see after some unlucky did not finish his last month. Yeah, it's good to see him back on the podium, and Tristan Powell again. 3 deserving drivers. CJ Bennett, though, did a brilliant job to make his way up through the pack, as did Nat Johnston, but I'm not sure what happened to him there in the middle. He seemed to drop back further down when he was in the mix of that pack. Here is the part then that they all dread after their main event, and this is the last that we will see of the Senior X30s for round 2.
Yeah, good racing for them. All the drivers obviously hoping they don't have that nose cone penalty. That is a 5-second penalty added on to the end of your race time. But we did have some pretty big gaps out the front. The front drivers broke away very cleanly. But yeah, good racing from all of them. Fantastic for Morgan Moore to hold on despite all of that chaos. It really kicked off weirdly around about the 3-minute mark at the start of the race. But those drivers at the front, like you say, Lewis Bird back at the sharp end, but Morgan Moore taking the Rotax X30 senior final of this one, and the Senior Max B final up next. They're split up into 2, and we will be taking you through their grid very shortly. Here we go then, the B final for the senior Rotax drivers. They're going to have 8 minutes plus 1 lap to do the best they can in this one, and we're going to take you through the grids now. On pole for this one is Djugas Prevelonis, followed by Ethan Hatch and Jacob Lee are your top 3. Michael Dalton goes from 4th place, followed by Daniel Kahayov, Arminas Zabaruskas, and Woody Hart, Kenneth Cordell, Dylan Norris and Jack Johnson round out your top 10. Harry Wilch goes from row 6 alongside Archie Flint, followed by Harry Hadley, Harvey Lee Winteridge, Marcus King, Kyle Dickens, Shaquille Joseph, Isaac Reynolds, and the last of your top 20 is Jacob Barran and Jensen Hinchcliffe rounding out your senior Rotax B final grid. A bit of a shorter one on this one, obviously, because we've split up slightly more than the heats, with drivers in their carts raring to go on this one. Yeah, should be a good one.
Absolutely, these drivers are ready to go. This is our second final of the day, and what a one it's going to be. We are going to see the 4 drivers that promoted themselves up into this final from the C final. We'll see after penalties which 4 it ended up to be in the end.
Yeah, all important on this one, but yeah, just waiting for the grids to go out. The senior Rotax, slightly bigger grid than our X30 this weekend, so we're going to be split up. But all the chances for these drivers still to make it to the A final and make it through and score some really important points. We're only in the second round of this championship, so still a very important time for the drivers to make a good start to the season, especially if they didn't have a good round 1. It's a great opportunity for them to score some really meaningful points.
Well, I was incorrect. I thought we were seeing the Junior Rotax already all over again, but no, we're not. This is Senior Max, so we will not be seeing anyone from the C final because there was 53 entries for Senior Rotax, I think, so that means we'll be split into 2. So we are going to see which 4 drivers get the chance to make it into the main event later on this afternoon. And the green flags are out, drivers are onto the circuit, so we are going to see shortly.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see such a massive entry, especially for the Senior Rotax. I think it's the senior karting scene is thriving more than ever at the moment, especially at Wilton Mill Kart Club here. A sunny day like this. Plenty of karts and plenty of fantastic drivers out on track and loads of people here to support. It's great to see drivers just getting their tyres and engines warmed up during this formation lap.
You are right, and we always see such a big Rotax grid, and it's also good to see all the X30 grids here coming and being competitive because we are here next weekend, well I am anyway, for the British Kart Championships with all of our X30 and Honda Cadet classes. So this is a really good opportunity for the drivers to stay hot on their heels. But enough of that because we are here for the Senior Rotax B final and we are almost underway. It's going to be a slow start, but hopefully a clean one because we've seen a few messy ones. And let's see who leads then into turn 1. It is going to be a false start.
Yeah, shame there. I think the drivers went a little bit too quickly. Prevelonis putting his hand up, basically going across the line. So very early full start on that one. Drivers are going to form back up into their respective grid positions and go back round again. But yeah, slightly shorter grid on this one. More opportunities, if anything, for the drivers to get to the sharp end, but fewer opportunities for some chaos. I think there was a car off the track there. I'm not sure if that was from this grid or the last one, but that could be the reason for our full start. But just heading through the infield section now, drivers are going to form back up into their grid positions. Here we go then. Prevelonis is going to take you on the pole start on this one, starting on the left side of the grid and taking us through the first couple corners. Drivers being told to slow down, take it nice and easy through the last couple corners as they make the run down the start-finish straight.
We saw some more intense tyre warming, which is what our last final needed after those very sideways moments up at Christmas Corner in the initial stages of the race. But here we go then. Hopefully we're going to be on for an official start for our Senior Rotax B final of the day. It's those 4 spots all to play for. Who is going to make it in, and we will see who leads through turn 1. It looks like it's going to be your pole sitter, Prevelonis, that leads up towards Christmas Corner. Got a gap already because your man in P2 has to go defensive. That is Jacob Lee with his teammate right behind him.
Yeah, the left side of the grid got a slightly better start. Jacob Lee going from third to second, beating out Ethan Hatch to the start line, and still going defensive driver up the inside. That was going for third place. I think that was Karyov. Oh, a driver off on the grass. Is that Jacob Lee or is that Ethan Hatch? That's one of the top runners, losing out big time on these opening laps. Not too much time lost. It was Ethan Hatch going wide at the exit of Ashby, but it's going to be Jacob Lee in second place, followed by Daniel Karyov now. And Pravalonis has got away from this one scot-free from his pole place. There you go. Look at the gap he's got already as we end lap 1. Through the last couple corners, drivers all making it through the first lap, I believe. But look at the lead. Pravalonis has got 2 seconds the gap already. He's going to run away with this one if these other drivers don't work together. We've got a red flag, though. He's not going to run away with this one because we are going to stop the race, hopefully very briefly. But drivers are going to slow down, bring their carts to a stop around the next section of the track.
Tell you what, that is unlucky for who was your race leader, because what a brilliant start, especially in a B final. You don't want the opportunity for you to bunch up and those top 4 positions to be taken off you, because you've seen how quickly in the other finals, how quickly that can change between the top 10 even. So he's going to hope for another one of those starts in the same position, but there you go then. Your race leader and pole sitter now leads the front of the pack that are stopped while we wait to hear more on our red flag.
Still winning. They might be stopped, but still exactly where he wants to be. But yeah, drivers, like we say, just going to stop, wait until this red flag procedure has finished, and all of the necessary cleanups and relevant stuff to go on. I think Carl Dickens either didn't start that one or didn't make it around the first lap, but it looks like all our other drivers are through. Yeah, it looks like it was Carl Dickens who has dropped out there. Harry Wiltshire at the back of your pack in 18th place. Rest of the 18 drivers making it through. But yeah, great start from Pravalonis. Did exactly what he needed to do in that one. Got away cleanly. It all kicked off behind him. Ethan Hatch losing out big time on that when you can see him in the middle of your shot there in the blue and yellow Evolution suit. Was second, but evidently a fight with Jacob Lee and Karyov. He came out on the wrong end of that one, bouncing over the grass on Ashby. It's always a fun ride.
Always,
until you remember that you're
Wilton
losing. Yeah, Wilton Mill, great track, but plenty of runoff for these drivers to recover safely. But yeah, we're just going to wait a second here for the red flag to end. But there is your leader, Pravalonis. Started on pole, made it through the first lap very well. Jacob Lee and Daniel Karyov were your other front row sitters, so first, third and fifth respectively, up to first, second and third. Michael Dalton in fourth, staying in fourth. Dylan Norris starting ninth all the way up to fifth place. Good start for him. Woody Hart from seventh to sixth. Kenny Caudle in seventh. Jack Johnson in eighth. Arminas Zabaruskas in ninth place, losing out a couple positions. And Ethan Hatch, like we said, down from second all the way to 10th place, but he's going to have a decent amount of time once we get back going to make those places back up. Last few drivers in this one are Harvey Lee Winterridge, Marcus King, Harry Hadley, Jacob Barron, Shaquille Joseph, Isaac Reynolds, Jensen Hinchcliffe and Harry Wilch in that order.
You're right, it was an unlucky start for those drivers just inside the top 10, but this does give them another opportunity to redo that on this restart, to be fair. So Zabariskas and Ethan Hatch will be looking for a better start. However, your race leader, who was your race leader, Pravalonis, is going to be looking for the exact same situation. I think that's hard to redo, a 2-second gap in the first lap.
Yeah, well, we're going to see. He's definitely going to try his best to, but like you say, it's not the easiest feat on any day, let alone when the drivers realise it's a massive opportunity, especially for drivers like Ethan Hatch. I think we did complete a lap, though, so I think we're going to stay in this position. We'll find out when they re-grid back up and we get back going again. But if you lose out in that one, especially in second, the drivers in second and third, seeing the leader go out the road, that red flag is somewhat of a blessing because they're going to have another chance to not let that happen. Even if they don't get the lead on the first lap, they're still going to hope they're not 2 seconds behind because that's a big old gap to make up. But
and that is the same for the rest of the entire field. It gives them a chance to bunch up. So no matter where you're starting, it's better than what you were before because you don't have that gap. Unless you're in front, and then it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, your leader's going to be sitting there thinking, oh, I had that then. That was so good.
No update on which driver it was that actually caused the red flag yet. What we will see when they come back around. Who isn't with us?
It's, I'm a bit worried that Pravalonis is asleep. Oh, no, he's moved. He's moved. He was very still for a second there, potentially. Could be meditating in this down period.
Let's have a look, because they're actually all quite quiet, aren't they?
Yeah, none
It's
of the
very
chatting.
intense.
We saw the cadets earlier having a good little chinwag with each other. But yeah, no pleasantries going on here. Moving forward a little bit is Provolonus. Moving, just restarting the grid here. I think we might be reforming up given the fact that he's moving forward. But it is Jacob Lee was in third, so... Oh, he's looking right at us. That freaked me out then. That felt like I was looking at the stick. And yeah, I think we are going back to our original grid positions because these were your first three on the front row. And they all managed to get away first, second, third. So we might be seeing... who was it that dropped down the order? I've lost the name now, but your second place man getting a chance to do it all over again and hopefully not end up dropping down to 10th position. That's going to be the plan. But yes, you can see, I think it was Hatch, Ethan Hatch, who was second place, and he's back there now. So yeah, really good second chance for him. You're going to be counting your lucky stars after that one. Obviously, a red flag is never nice to see given the circumstances, but if you are those drivers, you're going to take what you can get in this one. And drivers just reforming up to their original grid positions. It's good fun. Obviously, we don't have reverse gears in these go-karts, so watching them reverse with their hands, moving the steering wheel back is an interesting form of propulsion. But
it's one to watch. Or we've got someone here at the front getting out of the cart.
I think that's Ethan Hatch is maybe making a couple adjustments.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a couple of things maybe a little bit loose on that car after his excursion off the grass on Ashby. So yeah, maybe just making sure everything's tight.
Removing some grass probably before he heads out for his start on the front row.
Probably the case, yeah. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have a couple minutes left to go while these drivers form back up. Number 46 getting into his 8th position grid start. But yeah, drivers, it was like we said earlier, it's a really odd position to be in for a driver because you know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to start again. Drivers like Ethan Hatch, you've got this golden opportunity to make a better start than last time, and Pravolonis has got a really big weight on his shoulders to make that gap again and hold the lead. But you've got a good bit of downtime. You've got to stay in the headspace. You can't get too calm. You can't get too excited because you're going to stress yourself out. And remember, this is only the B final. Some of these top drivers might make it up again and be racing later on, so you can't be using up too much energy. But yeah, fairly long procedure here as we get the other carts back into their places.
Well, exactly. We have to remember that this is the top 4 spots that matter for our senior Rotax drivers. They are the 4 drivers that we will be seeing in the main event for our senior Rotax after this afternoon. So it's the top spots that they will all be searching for, which we will see. Our senior Rotax final isn't till later this evening. It is our second to last final of the day. So if you were here rooting for some senior Rotax drivers, make sure to put in the live chat who you will be rooting for this evening. Apologies, we haven't been on the live chat today. We have been very occupied. We've had a very busy day and a change, of course. Jake coming in last minute doing a brilliant job. But let's have a look. We've got our senior Rotax B finalists just waiting to go back out. The tension building up for these drivers as they are sat on the grid. Our Orange Army once again doing a brilliant job under unfortunate red flag conditions to help inform the drivers and inform everyone's safety. We have no updates on the previous red flags that have happened today, but we will update if and when we have them. But we are sure that drivers have been walking in and out of the ambulances when the red flags have occurred. But green flag is out, and it looks like we are going to be almost underway then with our senior Rotax B final. The opportunity for some drivers to redo that race doesn't come very often, and Ethan Hatch will be a driver that is grateful for this.
Yeah, 100%. But it looks like we're going to get away almost immediately. Not much time for these drivers to get back and get their tyres warm. They've just been sat there for a few minutes. This is going to be a really interesting one as we go through the first couple corners. See the adjusting the radiator flaps, just making sure the engine temps are exactly where they want them to be. But rounding the last corner we go into the tram lines. The revs rise and their right foots go down to the floor as they head into the restart of this final. Good start once again from Pravolonis. A little bit of action behind them, but all the drivers getting through the first couple corners. Pravolonis getting a great start, and Jacob Lee once again following him. Ethan Hatch has lost out down to 4th place after his 2nd place start, but through Christmas corner we go. Good start from all of the drivers this time.
Well, exactly that. Pravolonis wasn't quite able to do what he was off the line last time, but there is still an opportunity. This race has restarted. We have just under We have just under 8 minutes plus a lap to go, so it is still absolutely all to play for. Of course, your 4 positions being the ones that matter, but there is a change for position for 5th with Michael, Dalton and Max Hart. But it is all to play for down here as there is wheel banging and a cart now off the circuit. That is the 175.
I think it's Kehaev.
Oh,
that was your battle for the lead.
For him. That he is technically out of contention now for those spots into the main event this evening. It'll be a recovery drive for him.
Yeah, that was a real shame. They went 3 wide and he was just on the wrong end of it. But look at again, Pravalonis has got the move done. He's up in the lead and another move going on here. The number 40 up the inside there. I think that, 49 of Michael Dalton just getting 4th position back ahead of Jacob Lee. Jacob Lee losing out a slight bit. I think he was involved in that contact going through the boot. Move up here, I think for 6th place again. That is Kenneth Cordell, forcing Woody Hart wide onto the grass. He's lost out big time there. All the way down just ahead of Harry Wilkes, down to 13th place. Big shame for him, but still 6.5 minutes left of this to go. It's not all done yet, but like we say, again, Pravalonis has made that first lap really count. 1.7 seconds is the gap, but Ethan Hatch has stayed in 2nd this time. He is not giving up. He's got the fastest lap, only a 1/10 of a second quicker, but he's got 6 minutes plus another lap to make this count. Dylan Norris is in 3rd, followed by Michael Dalton. Move there for Marcus King, I believe that is, ahead of Jack Johnson, making a move up to 9th place. Good move for them. The pack is spread out quite quickly in this one. Move, Jensen Hinchcliffe, having a little look up the inside of Harry Hadley. Great restart for Jensen Hinchcliffe. He's up from 20th up to 8th place after his 20th place start. I think he started 17th on the restart. But yeah, like we say, Pravalonis into the lead of this one and making it stick. There is the 95 of Jacob Lee. I'm not sure he's got the pace in this one. He's all the way down to 5th. He was in 2nd at the start of this restart, but down to 5th here and fending off Kenneth Cordell, who's making some great moves, and they're losing the back of the 4th place pack. 2nd, 3rd and 4th of Hatch, Norris and Dalton all together here. You can see on your screen now, but defending like his life depends on it is Jacob Lee. Just about holding on to it, but around the outside maybe is Kenneth Cordell. Fantastic move hanging it on the XF Christmas. Just gets that better run. Moves behind them as well for, I think that's Jack Johnson making some moves down at the back of that one. Maybe I'm wrong, but just holding on there is Marcus King fending off Harry Hadley, but Jack Johnson is through. No, apologies, he's fallen down a bit.
Jacob Lee does not want to be the driver to be having to fend in that 5th position right now at the minute, because that is not the position he wants to be in. That is not the position that is going to get him into the final. But one driver who is going to be really grateful for this restart, Ethan Hatch, fastest driver on track, setting purples, did not have a good start in the last restart. Now running in 2nd, just 1.2 seconds behind your leader, but we have a change further down the order for that kart number 11. Who would
Jacob Lee losing again. He was pointed across the line. He was pointing down to his front right. I think he may have an issue of some sort. So this is just going to be him clinging on to as many positions as he can, but he's about to lose 1, maybe 2 here. Up the inside there was Marcus King, and also following him through is Zabaruskas, who lost out on that last lap, but manages to get a position back ahead of Jacob Lee, who's clearly struggling in this one. He was up at the sharp end of the last one and still just desperately trying to cling on to these positions. He's down all the way to 9th place now. Zabaruskas and Marcus King making the moves they need to, but like you say, Ethan Hatch again with the fastest lap. We're down to the 46.6s, and he's 3/10 of a second quicker than Pravalonis on that last time round. The gap's under a second now. Here is your battle all the way down to, I think, about 11th place. This is for 7th place, headed up by Marcus King, who's got a bit of a gap now. Zabaruskas is now leading this one, the cork in the bottle. Jacob Lee still hanging on in there for 9th place, followed by Hinchcliffe and Jacob Barron, trying to make as many positions as they can. But your lead battle, I think, is going to hot up at the end of this one. Still 3 minutes plus another lap to go. It's all still to play for.
Zabaruskas, another driver who's lost out on the initial start to the race, hasn't had the best start, but running in 8th, and there is still time. We've got 3 minutes to go, and here we go, the drivers along the final chicane for one of the last times. We've got 3 minutes plus a lap. Pravalonis leads Hatch, Norris, Dalton, and those are your drivers right now promoting themselves into the main event this evening. But we have an eager driver making a move down the inside. That is kart number 95, promoting himself up into 8th, that overtaking that kart of Zabaruskis once again, unfortunately, dropping back again on these initial laps.
Yeah, Jacob Lee is just about clinging on. It looked like he was going to start dropping like a lead balloon, but he's just about managed to make up 8th place again ahead of Zabaruskas. Marcus King, meanwhile, ahead of them has got away. Now the number 520 of Jacob Barron has got ahead of Jensen Hinchcliffe and now hunting down Zabaruskas as we head into the final set of corners. Not really an opportunity to make any moves, only if the opportunity presents itself, but definitely not the place for a dive bomb. But where is Ethan Hatch? He's 0.4 of a second now, 0.4 of a second quicker on the last lap and 0.4 of a second behind the leader. He's dropped Dylan Norris and Michael Dalton, but they themselves have dropped 5th and 6th. This top 4 going for the repechage positions look to be all sorted with 2 minutes to go, but it could all kick off here. We saw how a few races have ended today, and it may all still go wrong for these drivers. They're going to have to race clean and race fair, but Ethan Hatch is looking to hunt down Pravalonis as they go through the last sector. This is Jacob Lee holding on to 8th place, who was in 2nd place at the start of this one, managing to not quite hold on to the positions he's going to want to and losing out on those repechage positions. 0.2 is the gap now, 46.47. Ethan Hatch is putting in fantastic laps. He puts in a quick lap, Pravalonis matches it, but then Hatch goes even quicker every lap so far. There is your battle for 5th place. 6th place. Marcus King making the move on Harvey Lee Winteridge up into 6th. Great moves from Marcus King so far. It looks like he's got great pace in this one.
It absolutely does, but you are right. How are our leaders closing up this much? We've got 1 minute plus a lap to go, and I think we're going to have a battle for the race lead. Here they are then, and you can see Ethan Hatch is on the back bumper of your race leader of this B final. Obviously, both getting promoted now into the A final as of right now with Dylan Norris and Michael Dalton, but I don't think that's going to be enough for your man in 2nd place as we head up towards Christmas Corner, and he's going to make the move for the race lead. And Pravalonis is going to challenge him for it, but he is going to make the move and get the move done. There is that 88 car now in the race lead. Pravalonis, this isn't the end of his race if he does end up 2nd. Both drivers are promoting themselves up into the A final, but of course wants to be the leader, want to be the winner heading into the final to have that confidence this afternoon. But there you go, there are your 2 leaders, 20 seconds plus a lap to go. So it looks like we're going to have 2 more laps of the race. And there is Dylan Norris in 3rd position, in pretty clean air for himself there at the minute, with Michael Dalton also. These 4 are quite spread out. They shouldn't be too unhappy with this.
Yeah, I mean, level head to prevailing here. Pravalonis probably knows that Ethan Hatch has got the faster pace, and he knows it's not worth fighting him. Ethan Hatch has gone even quicker, even with that overtake on that lap, 46.3 seconds. This is your battle for 9th place. Jacob Lee has lost out again to Zabaruskas. Oh, late on the brakes there was Harry Hadley. Did he make the move? No, he's fending off Kareov. But these drivers, Jacob Lee just about holding on to 9th position in all of this, followed by Jacob Barron, Jensen Hinchcliffe, Harry Hadley and Daniel Kaheov. Jack Johnson just about at the back of this pack, looking to pick up any of the scraps. Jacob Lee going defensive. Can Jacob Barron get the move out of the corner? Yes, he can. Followed, being pushed by Jensen Hinchcliffe as they go into the boot, 2 by 2. Both of them make the move on Jacob Lee. Oh. Round goes Harry Hadley, all concertinaed up there, and Harry Hadley, unfortunately, ended up on the wrong end of that, just having the front of his car clipped by the rear of Jacob Lee, I think, where he got forced backwards, and that's losing out big time in all of that, down to 18th place. Shame for him.
Devastating end to his race, but however, in the midst of all of that, we missed the fact that it's the final lap of the race, and your race leader is now 7/10 down the road from Pravalonis. I think Pravalonis has realised he's faster. This is the B final, so I'm going to take it back while he has a gap to Dylan Norris. But here we go then, your race leader along the final chicane for the final time, and we will see him again. Checkered flag is out. That is Ethan Hatch, your winner of the Senior Rotax B final. Pravalonis, Dylan Norris and Michael Dalton are provisionally all promoting themselves into the final, so we are going to see them again this afternoon.
Yeah, great race from Ethan Hatch. Like we said before, that restart got forced off Ashby and fell all the way down to 10th before we got red flagged. So getting moved back up to 2nd was a blessing, and he's used that blessing to his advantage. Winning that race by a second and a bit at the end, obviously it is a good opportunity for Pravalonis to not make any mistakes. You don't really want to lose that repechage position. It's a bit more important than coming in 2nd or 3rd relative. As long as you make it through, it's all important. But yeah, like you say, Hatch, Pravalonis, Norris and Dalton make their way into the A final later on today. But yeah, Kenneth Caudle, Marcus King, Harvey Lee Winteridge, Arminas Zabarauskas, Jacob Barra and Jensen Hinchcliffe are your top 10 in that one. A lot of big movers, has to be said. Marcus King up 9 places, Harvey Lee Winteridge up 7, Jacob Barron up 10 and Jensen Hinchcliffe up 10. Great races from those guys.
That's what I was going to say. Not making it into the final this evening, but they have done good races for their final event this afternoon.
Definitely. Drivers just checking for those penalties. We have Daniel Cahill is under investigation. I think he ended up 12th in that one after that scuffle at the start of the race. So let's see what the result of that is. But after this one, we have our X30 Junior one-off final. So that is the Senior Maxes done until later this evening for their main final at around 5:15. Obviously, we've had a couple delays here, but no delays for this one. We're going into the X30 Junior final. Here we go then, your final of the X30 Juniors here at Wilton Mill Kart Club, round number 2. We're going to take you through your grids now. On pole for this one, Jacob Batchelor in the number 69 number kart, followed by George Edgar in second place. Sukhmani Kara goes from third place alongside Freddie Wood, Rocco Shenton and Aaron Richardson in your top 6. George Clark goes from 7th place, followed by George House, Henry Clark. Oh god, that's going to be confusing in this one, I can imagine. Max Endicott rounds out your top 10, followed by Harley Musk and Finley Hinds. Archie Rogers-Tyler goes from 13th place alongside Adam Bourne, followed by Jacob Marples, Orion Mehta, Finley Allen and Casey Donaldson. Rounding out your grid for this one is Zach McDonald, Enzo Bertolazzi, Leandro Carlton Sr., Jacob Nairn, Nathaniel Hodges and George Quinlan. Max Tay goes from row 13 alongside Alex Riley, Sebastian G, Zoe Cattett, Tom Seamarks and Ethan Windsor are your top 30. And Alfie Brightmore, Archie Lamb, Theo Thomas and Max Mason are your last of the 34 kart grid for the Junior X30 final.
And what a 34 kart grid it is. This is a competitive field of drivers, of course. You've got George Edgar starting on the front row, who did win round 1. George Edgar is the driver who you see in various club championships, national championships at the front. Comes from a racing family who are very familiar with all the circuits around the UK. And he will be one to watch for this afternoon, trying to make his way for another win, another clean sweep really. But the person who was giving him his most competition was Aaron Richardson. Aaron Richardson is coming off of a win earlier on this year, but is starting a bit further down the grid, I believe. Another person to look out for, no matter where he starts in the final, is Enzo Butterazzi, because he was the biggest overtaker from last month and has been doing the same in the heats. Green flag is out then, and our Junior X30s are up and going on to the tarmac, almost underway with their final of the day for round 2 here at the Wilton Mill Kart Club Championships. You are with myself, Gil, and
Jake. Speaking of names, I'm quite worried for this one, as you saw me stumble during the readout, because we have George House, George Clark and Henry Clark all starting pretty much side by side. So apologies in advance if we mix up some of your names, gents. But yes, going to be Jacob Batchelor going from pole on this one. As you say, this is a very stacked grid, 34 karts. It's going to be pretty tricky to keep it facing in the right direction. You remember, you've got to finish the race. To finish first you have to finish, as they say, and for a few drivers today that has not been the case. So really important that the drivers keep it clean on this one. But we're rounding out the boot. Jacob Batchelor on the back of your shot there in the fluorescent yellow and orange helmet next to the... I shouldn't have said that. It's next to the fluorescent yellow and orange and green and blue helmet of George Edgar, or Jorge Edgar. Apologies, Mr. Edgar. But here we go then. Number 69 is going to take us round the final corner as we head down the tram lines Down we go towards the start-finish line. Revs rise, smoke pours out the back of the karts, and through the first couple corners we go. Good start for the first man on the grid, Jacob Batchelor, your pole sitter, gets away well, but also a good start for the rest of the drivers. 2 by 2, we head up the long run to Christmas Corner, and he holds on, bit of a squirm on the brakes. All the drivers coming through Christmas Corner and all still facing the right direction. Good start from everyone there, but Jacob Batchelor still holds on to this one. The number 44 of Sukmani Kara gets up to second place ahead of Jorge Edgar. Rocco Shenton makes a good start in that one in fourth place, and all the drivers filing through the double left-hander, making it through. Oh, I think there was a move. Sukmani Kara, I think, was on the back of Jacob Batchelor there, on the bumper of their car, and drivers filing through here. It's all starting to kick off. Rocco Shenton in all of this has managed to get to the top end of the field. Jorge Edgar has just about managed to file through, but I think the front two got together there, and they've both come off badly out of it.
You're right. Sukmani Kara did a brilliant job to get into that second position off the line, but she has now dropped back because I think something happened between her and what was the race leader, both missing out. But of course, Rocco Shenton and George Edgar will be the drivers to maximise on that. Freddie Wood, another driver who dropped slightly on that, but who is that up 8th positions? That is Jacob Marples so far. Yeah, that is the kart which will be no longer with us anymore in this race, kart number 72. Rocco Shenton and George Edgar, no strangers to being at the front of this field. We watched Rocco Shenton have no qualifying and still finish on the podium positions, but here is your top 3. Speaking of them, they are joined by... Oh, now there is a change for the race lead. George Edgar now takes the race lead. That is Jacob Batchelor and Rocco Shenton now down into third. That is how quick it can change for your Senior X30 drivers in this final. Is Aaron Richardson now into that 4th place as they head up towards Christmas Corner? Is there going to be a change for 3rd position? 2nd position, yes there is. That is Jacob Batchelor wasting no time straight down the inside, but Rocco Shenton is not going to like that. We know he's going to waste no time, and he goes straight down the inside. Now they're side by side, but Rocco Shenton manages to come out in front. Early stage of this final, we still have just under 8 minutes to go, and this is what we are seeing from these two. But they've got to be careful because George Edgar is pulling a decent gap from this squaggling.
Yeah, Richardson's closing in on them as well. They're bumper to bumper as they go through the boot here. Batchelor managed just about to cling on to 3rd position after that battling, but that little bit of contact between him and Sukmani Kara, who himself drivers off through the last chicane section. Hopefully they're all okay, but a couple of drivers losing out there. But yeah, Jorge Edgar now with 1.2 seconds in the lead, setting the fastest lap and doing it at the right time amidst all of that battling. Here is, speaking of battling, this is Rocco Shenton, the cork in the bottle for 2nd, all the way down to 8th. There goes Batchelor up the inside, a bit of a rough move and still battling behind them as well. Side by side for 4th place. Here comes Freddie Wood, I think that, Aaron Richardson. Sukmani Kara just about holding on. So somehow in all that we pretty much got the same order, but Jacob Batchelor not in the same order, up to 2nd after being in the lead and then dropping to 5th, and then 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and Rocco Shenton not being able to hold on to 2nd place there. Meanwhile, in all of this, Jorge Edgar is making even more inroads. 46.7 on that last one. He's over a second quicker, and that gap is now 2 seconds. See him zooming past the shot, we barely even see him going past there. Move potentially here for Aaron Richardson. Up to the inside of Rocco Shenton. Rocco losing out again, down to 4th place, but he's not done yet. Looking around the outside, then the inside to Ashby. Great one. Up the inside of Ashby, he's going to get followed in by Sukmani Kara, who makes the move as well on Aaron Richardson. Aaron Richardson may be losing out some more, but he's got the inside line as we go into the double left-hander drivers. Oh, look at this. This is down to about, I think, 18th place, all of these drivers.
We've got XL Motorsport driver George House in the mix now, having a look down the outside, but he doesn't quite get the move done on Aaron Richardson, who has now dropped back. Sukmani Kara, though, did benefit from that on that last lap. Let's see as they come across the line what our order is now for our Junior X30 finalists. George Edgar, of course, 2.5 seconds now down the road. Jacob Batchelor and Rocco Shenton. Here we go then, up into Christmas Corner. Oh, that is who is that that takes a look?
Sukmani.
That is Rocco that takes a look down the inside of now Sukmani Kara, who is into that 3rd position. A brilliant job by Sukmani Kara. That is Freddie Wood, who has lost out ever so slightly now in the midst of that, but they are also bunched up. It is still all to play for. Round the middle sector they will go, and that is Sukmani Kara claiming her place back up into the podium position, and Rocco Shenton is saying, yep, I think we should work together now because we are really letting everyone in behind us, and that is exactly what's happening. But it was too late for those two as they go through the final chicane, because that is Aaron Richardson and George House, who are now on the back of this pack of 5 drivers, battling for those 2 other podium positions.
Yeah, really wanting to get to the front of this one. Jorge Edgar,
defensive.
really defensive move. No one switching positions just yet, but like you said, Rocco Shenton pointing forward. We've still got 5 minutes plus a lap in this one, but they're going defensive as no one's giving each other an inch. I think George House is going to benefit out of that one ahead of Aaron Richardson, and there goes Rocco Shenton up to 3rd place. It's, Sigmani Kira just about holds on to 4th, but this battle is going from about 3rd down to maybe 18th, I think. 20th place is just a few seconds behind them here. This is all going to Constantina up, bumper to bumper as they go through the boot. Losing another position is George House. Freddie Wood getting through into 6th. But Rocco Shenton at the front of this one is going to have to stay there, or else he's going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions, I can imagine. But yeah, Rocco Shenton just about fending off Sigmani Kira there. Good battle in there.
You are right, but doesn't have to go defensive because those 2 fusion carts behind decide that they need to make up some ground on the rest of this pack. George House, you're right, dropped back ever so slightly on the last corner of that lap. He missed out to Freddie Wood on the chicane, but he has managed to get back in front of Freddie Wood, but just behind that Aaron Richardson still. He leads the next pack, but that is Sigmani Kira now, back into the 3rd position, brewing herself up to the podium position, but Rocco Shenton is not going to like that for long. That's Freddie Wood taking a look down the inside and gets back in front of George House around the boot and into the final chicane. Once again, you see the teeth all over that XL Motorsport Karts helmet of George House. That is Sigmani Kira now that leads this 2nd pack. Rocco Shenton right behind, but we always see a move into Christmas corner, and we are going to. That will be Rocco Shenton and Aaron Richardson trying to follow him through. Do they get the move done though on Sigmani Kira? Nope, she makes it stick, elbows out, and she makes that card as wide as she can, and she stays into that 4th position. No doubt there is going to be another change, and there is side by side all down the grid now. This is looking at, look at that, George House making his car as wide as he can, managing to fend off Max Endicott and Holly Musk. George Clark then round out the top 10. Look how close this is. We've got just under 3 minutes to go for our Junior X30s, and yet another lap is about to be complete. George Edgar, his gap is extended to, again, or stayed the same that lap, to 3.3 seconds. Rocco Shenton now into that 3rd position. Sigmani Kira, he's going to go defensive now, isn't going to give Sigmani the chance to get the move done, but she is going to get an advantage on the exit. Let's see what she is able to do. Are these 4 going to keep it cool for a lap? Are they going to back off and stay one by one?
No chance, I think. Can you imagine though, Rocco Shenton? I'm not surprised that him and Sigmani have been battling this much, because can you imagine the pressure of all of these drivers waiting eagerly? You know, as soon as you make a mistake, you're going to lose so many positions. But Rocco just about holding on, back in the pack up massively through the boot, but clinging on to that 3rd place just about. They're losing heaps of time. The top 2 are in a different postcode at this point, but Rocco Shenton just about holds on to 3rd. Sigmani is looking here, there, everywhere. Will anyone get a run up to Christmas? I think Rocco's going to white line it. Leaves a bit of a gap, but not quite enough. All of the drivers on the right, but it all Constantina's up. 2 drivers round there.
Sigmani goes in.
George Clark and George House, both of the Georges at the start of this race, lose out. But Sigmani, in the midst of all this, has got up to 3rd place. Rocco Shenton down to 5th. And Aaron Richardson up to 4th place. Freddie Wood in all of this is starting to benefit, just about clinging on to 6th. This pack is now made up of Sigmani Kira, Aaron Richardson, Rocco Shenton, Freddie Wood, Max Endicott, George Clark and George House were the 2 that you saw going round there. So they're going to drop down the order at the end of this lap. Shame for them, but only a minute or so plus a lap left to go. It's all coming to a boil here, but Sigmani Kira, has got about the biggest gap that we've seen in this race for the last 5 minutes.
Well, this is what we need to consider. There was a fusion train all behind Rocco Shenton that lap, and they all worked together, and that made Sigmani Kira come out in front. Brilliant work from the fusion teammates. We are now going to see what she can do. But let's talk about your race leader, who is 3.9 seconds down the road, still setting purple laps. Wow. Just then, he set the fastest lap. Does he know how far ahead he is?
I doubt he's looked behind him in a while. He definitely hasn't had to. 4 seconds is the gap, but the gap's back here. 10 seconds back to 3rd place. All of this swabbling has made the gaps huge out to the front too, but no huge gaps here. Harley Musk is right on the bumper of Max Endicott, and Archie Rogers-Tyler is waiting in the midst for these two to start battling. Once again, we go to Sugmani Kira. She's got a decent bit of breathing space once again as we go to the penultimate lap. Aaron Richardson not being able to capitalise. Really late braking from Rocco Shenton there, trying to make up as much ground as possible. No moves being made just yet. But are we going to see Freddie Wood up the inside? Yes, we are. Great move in Ashby ahead of Rocco Shenton, going defensive as we head into the couple left-handers. Is Rocco going to have a look at the inside? Oh, a little wheel touch. Back up to the outside. This is great battling between him and Freddie Wood. Rocco going to have a look around the outside through the boot. There's side-by-side little bump from Freddie Wood. Just trying to get as much speed as possible, but Freddie Wood just about, after 4 or 5 corners, holds on. But look at this, bringing Archie Rogers-Tyler, where's he come from? Got ahead of both Endicott and Harley Musk on that lap. There's your leader, Jorge Edgar, out on his own completely. 4 seconds is the gap he's got in the lead with the fastest lap of the race and punching in fast, consistent laps. We haven't even seen him this race because we haven't had to. He's been completely out on his own. Jacob Batchelor as well has managed to avoid all of this pressure in second place and hanging on after a bit of a scuffle with Sugmani Kira, who's in third and still hanging on, but will they hang on to the end? Meanwhile, Edgar is going to round the last chicane and take the win on this one, followed by Batchelor in the number 69 car. Little wave from Jorge Edgar there, saying that was easy. Nice and easy one, winning the Junior X30 final here at Wilton Mill Kart Club. Here's your battle for third place though, going right down to the wire is Sugmani Kara going to come out on top. Drivers on top of each other. I think that was the battle for 8th place at number 54 of Adam Bourne. 11th place coming home in 11th, but none of the positions change on that one. Brilliant charge at the end from Rogers-Tyler gets up to 6th ahead of Rocco Shenton. Fantastic late charge from him, but it's Jorge Edgar taking the win, followed by Batchelor, Kira, Richardson, Wood, Rogers-Tyler, Shenton, Endicott, Musk and Hines. And breathe. That was a fantastic race.
What a final from this Junior X30.
Wow. Brilliant race from them. Like we said, Edgar and Batchelor were completely out on their own. Kira just about hung on all of that right at the start. Her and Batchelor came together. I think there was a bit of a touch of the bumpers and they lost out a few positions. Batchelor down to 3rd and Kira down to 6th, but they both recovered really well. Kira getting to the front of that really intense pack of battling. Richardson just about clinging on to 4th in all of that after yo-yoing up and down the order many times. Freddie Wood slowly made his way up. Rogers-Tyler, I think, made about 4 positions on the last few laps. That was a great drive. And Rocco Shenton couldn't quite hold on to 3rd place. But great race from all those drivers. I mean, the trains we had, the Junior X30 trains we had in the midst of that race, for most of it, it could have been a 15-car win at that point. 100%. I think there was one point where 3rd place down to probably 22nd was about no more than a couple tenths between each driver. That is crazy to see. Wilton Mill Kart Club tends to be where you get that kind of racing. But more racing for you to come as we go into the... we just had X30 Juniors. Miami Water Swift is up next for their final. Here we go then, the final race. 10 minutes plus 1 lap for these Miami Water Swift into drivers to make their way to the front of the pack and try and win their final here at round 2 of the Wilton Mill Kart Club. Been some fantastic action so far. Do not go anywhere. We've got plenty of fantastic finals left to come in this one. But your Miami Water Swifts are up next. 10 minutes plus. Oh, there's a lovely smell of a bonfire around here. Sorry, I've got distracted there. There are your drivers waiting, probably smelling that lovely smell as well. Hopefully it's no one's cart that I'm smelling. But yeah, drivers just waiting to go out for their formation lap for Miami Water Swifts. Should be a good one though. It is going to be getting intense there on the grid. These are drivers that are very familiar with each other and really competitive grids. But let's take a look. On your pole position is Chester Fawkes, joined by Alfie Davidson. It was between these two before. They have been working together all weekend so far. Ilya Sami and Dimitar Uzanov on the 2nd row. Margaris Kveskis and Oliver Tsay in your top 6. Row 4 there will be LBJ Stubbs and Bodie Batch. Row 5 Charlie Clough and Hero Tsay. Row 6, Evan Owen and Harry Chapman, sorry. Mason Hibbert and Teddy Higgs are on row 7. Oliver Kleinfelton and Roderick Golkanath are on row 8. Harry Favell and Shinifat Vejabuti are row 9. Reggie Chandler and Fedi Buka are next. William Bennett and Hugo Torpey are after that. Fillion Bedford and Frank Morris. Didn't know we had such a...
Rounding out the back of the grid is Hugo Williamson and Lewis William Marbs. I'm so sorry.
Didn't know we had a prominent 1930s actor on the grid. It's always nice to see the stars dipping their toes in the Miami Water Swift Championship. It's that prestigious, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone wants a piece of this trophy, and certainly to these drivers. But once again, a really stacked grid for you here. Fantastic drivers. The E-plate is on pole, and we'll see if they can convert it to a win this week in the finals, as they have done before in the finals with that E-plate. But yes, drivers still waiting to go out. I think there's maybe a little bit of track clean-up going on. It's have to say it's not been the cleanest day of racing in the world. I think every race we've had someone retiring, which is obviously not what we want to see. It's not representative so much of the driver's pace when they get retired, but also, like I said earlier, you have to finish the race to do well. But Chester Forks looking to make the moves here. Two privateer teams on the front row of Chester Forks and Ilya Sami. The Fusion Motorsport driver of Alfie Davidson on the front row of the grid alongside Chester Forks, looking to make good on this one. But an all-British top four, Lithuanian driver of Marius Kovexis. I've definitely butchered that, apologies. And yeah, LBJ Stubbs in 6th place, followed by Charlie Clough at the moment. I think they're a little bit mixed up from their grid positions, but here are your drivers. The E-plate of Chester Forks will be your pole man going into this one.
They are being warned to slow down, but this is another grid now that not all the drivers we usually see at the front are up there, so it is going to be, they've got the time, they've got 10 minutes plus a lap to make their way up. I think some drivers you are to look out for just before we get underway: Evan Owen, Charlie Clough and LBJ Stubbs, who's starting 6th, who has been really impressive so far this weekend. But we are underway with your Miami Water Swift final of the day. Let's see who on the front row can come out in front, and it looks like it's going to be your pole sitter, Chester Forks, to lead once again. Runs very wide on the exit curve, but that is not going to make a difference. And it is his teammate Ilya Sami, once again right behind him, working together. We have seen this from these drivers before. Some wheel banging through Christmas corner, but nothing changes just yet. That's car number 16, who couldn't get off the line, unfortunately, and won't be in this race any longer. He is out of it. But it is a smooth start for our Miami Water Swifts. There is RBJ Stubbs with car number 25 just behind Oliver Say, and Charlie Clough in that 8th place. All mid-pack drivers who we do see at the front of the field at times. So taking a look behind each other, it would be clever to work together at this stage. The two XL teammates going round the boot now have a bit of a gap, so they should be working together and try and come through the grid together. Yeah, plenty of time left to go on this one. Still 9 minutes plus a lap. Quite a long race for these Water Swifts. That left side, the pole side of the grid, got a fantastic start. And Ilya Sami is looking to make the most of it, right on the back, pushing Chester Forks. They do look to be working together. Defence there for 7th position, I believe that is the number 25, 8th position of Oliver Tay, just holding off Bodie Batch in the number 88 car. These two bumper to bumper. Bodie Batch having a look at the inside at Ashby. Little bit of contact on through the corner, and that's going to allow Harry Chapman to make a move on Oliver Tay as well. Harry Chapman maybe getting, but oh no, just about holding on is Bodie Batch at the front of that one. But look at the pack behind them, all looking to make good on Oliver Say's misfortune, and I think that he's going to lose a few more positions in this one. There is, I think that's Harry Chapman there in the number 32, moving his way up to 9th position, followed by Ethan Owen making a good few positions on that lap. But Chester Forks and Ilya Sami still out in front with a decent gap, setting the fastest pace, bumper to bumper. That seems to be the tactics in this Miami Water Swift Championship, of sticking together and making as much ground as you can without battling. It really costs you around here. There is Charlie Clough and LBJ Stubbs. Charlie Clough getting ahead of LBJ in that one. Charlie Clough has done a good start. We haven't seen him too far up this grid today, which is abnormal for him, making a good start into 6th position, working together with his teammate. RBJ Stubbs is a driver who we've seen doing well. There is another one of the XL Motorsport drivers, Evan Owen, competing in his final. He is currently running down in 11th, but as we know, that top 10 can change so quickly with these drivers. Here is then the XL Motorsport 2 coming through the final chicane, and followed by a Fusion Motorsport 1-2 for a bit further down the pack, heading through turn 1 once again. Alfie Davidson, though, in that P3 car is your fastest driver on the circuit right now, but there is 0.09 between these two working together at the front. Is Alfie Davidson going to be able to catch them up all by himself, the Danny Curl Academy teammates?
He's got Dimitar Uzanov for company, though. He's got some help in this, so there's definitely enough time if they work together well. Chester Forks and Ilias Sami might be under pressure here, but speaking of being under pressure, this is still your battle for around 9th place. Harry Chapman has made up the move on Bodie Batch, has lost out, and Afan Owen is down in 11th place there in the middle of your shots. This pack is headed up by Mason Hibbert, who's got a bit of a gap, a little bit of a concertina effect. Harry Chapman just about clinging on there. All the drivers staying single file through that chicane section of the track, hopping over that little bit of new tarmac as we go across the line. 6.5 minutes left to go in this one. The gaps stay pretty much bang on for the top 4. They're all within a tenth of each other. So close between these drivers, but closer between these. Chapman going to lose out here. Couple positions. Bodie Batch gets back ahead and followed through by Afan Owen. Harry Chapman down a couple of places there. Hero Tse trying to make a move with his brother behind. I'm assuming they're brothers. Hero and Oliver are looking to make a move on Oliver Chapman here, but nothing yet so far. These 5 stay line astern as they head through the midfield. But that is Harry Chapman losing a couple positions. Bodie Batch back up to 9th.
These are the drivers that are going to be playing collateral damage. These are the ones that it's going to bunch up ever so quickly with if our drivers at the front start battling. We've got just under 6 minutes plus a lap to go, and that is the number 8 car. Mason Hibbert leads that sort of pack. The rest have done a pretty good job of getting away with it. Chester Forks and Ilias Sami down the road, but here we have a battle for this lead, for this position once again. That is car number 24 up the inside of the car number 32, Harry Chapman. That was Hero Tse back up the inside with his brother just behind him there in that pack.
Not able to follow him through, but is he going to have a look into the left-hander? Yes, he is.
He does.
Following his brother through. That's the teamwork they need. But Harry Chapman's... Oh, I thought he might have to run there, but not quite. They're going to have to get their heads down and work together because they've got to chase these packs. There's the number 22 a little bit further down the order. That is... Sorry, I think I might have misread that one. There's the number 60 of... Sorry, that is Oliver Kleinefelter battling away with Reggie Chandler for 15th position, both of them staying. This is a really tight battle all the way from about 14th downwards, I think. And there is your leader pack that we were watching just now with Harry Chapman at the back of it now. But look at how tight this pack is. These are for the mid-pack positions. Number 42 makes contact with the 55. That's Teddy Higgs and Frank Morris, with Frank Morris going around. Another driver off in sympathy. Not sure who that was on the edge there, but that's the number 99 of William Bennett. Really unfortunate for him. A couple of drivers losing out there, but yeah.
We were
really
doing well there with the retirements up until that moment.
Yeah.
But this is the battle with RBJ Stubbs and Kvetskis for 5th position. RBJ Stubbs has lost sight of his teammate Charlie Clough. He takes a little look behind him and sees that he's not there to help him right now. So they go through turn 1 and 2 and up towards Christmas Corner. Are we going to see him make a move? No, he sits behind Kvetskis for a little bit longer. There is the driver just being helped on the circuit, ensuring everyone's safety. And here is the battle a bit further down the pack with car number 32, Harry Chapman. Is he going to make a move down the inside? That was, no, not going to get the move done, and that is Evan Owen inside that Fusion Motorsport sandwich right now.
Yeah, Bodie Batch just clinging on to this one. Up ahead, Mason Hibbert has managed to break away from this pack, but hasn't got any help around him to catch up. Number 11 there that we saw retiring, unfortunately with a mechanical flag, so that is their race over. Unfortunate for Hugo Williamson. We are watching Bodie Batch though, right in front of Evan Owen and Hero Tse. Harry Chapman has got back ahead of Oliver Tse behind. You can see in the very colourful, fantastic looking suit. Oh, no, sorry, that was the 55 of Frank Morris that we saw. I love that suit. But are we going to see any moves up into Christmas? We're going to see some further ahead. RBJ Stubbs up the inside of Kvetskis. That is for 5th position. They're now going to try and hunt Dimitar Uzanov, who's they've lost off the back of Davidson a bit. Looking at the gaps at the front, I was worried our timing screens were broken for a second because they just weren't changing. They're all doing the same laps. With Chester Forks, for the first time, has got a bit of breathing room. 4/10 over Ilias Sami. Alfie Davidson another half a second back, and Uzanov another 3/10 off the back there. So it started to spread out. The packs of 2 of 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th. A bit like Noah's Ark, 2 by 2, but they've broken away into the top 4. Kvetskis has got some work to do here. You can see them at the top of your shot. I say they were breaking away, but Sami is back on the back of Chester Forks as we head through the first turn. There you can see at the front of your shot whizzing past are your leaders. Are we going to see a move with 2 minutes left to go? Not quite. they stay line astern. Chester Forks in the lead, followed by Elias Sami.
These two are no strangers to working together. They've worked together on a European and national stage so far, and I don't think they will be silly enough to lose the lead to each other just yet. But we haven't even seen these the whole race because they've been off in the distance. I think Chester Forks did manage to get a bit of a gap on Sami, but Sami pulled it back, setting the fastest lap there on that last lap. Hot on his heels, on his teammates' heels now. If he's faster, are we going to see him have a look down the inside? We'll have a look. Not just yet, though. Through the final chicane, they go. That is Chester Forks that still leads Elias Sami. Alfie Davidson and Dimitar Uzanov off in the distance. LBJ Stubbs just managing to make his way up one position. And here you go. Your race leaders then up into Christmas corner. No silly moves from the teammates just yet. 1 minute and 16 seconds still to go, plus a lap. They are happy to work together, to continue to work together for the remainder of this race. Elias Sami still ever so slightly quicker though than his teammate Chester Forks, but it looks like they're not too worried about the time distance behind them because Alfie Davidson is on some pressure now from Dimitar Uzanov.
I think Uzanov is wanting to work together though. He was pointing forward for Alfie Davidson, but they've lost out. They're a second behind this lead pack now. But obviously, they've got a good gap now. At what point do they start battling? Like we said, they've worked fantastically together so far, but 40 seconds plus a lap left to go. It's probably just 2 laps left to go this one. At what point do they start battling? Is it now? Does Sami get a good run off there? Oh, Forks going defensive. He knows it's coming. Round the outside, has a look for Sami. Doesn't quite care to come off. Battling behind them. Contact between Davidson and Uzanov. Look at LBJ Stubbs now coming in. Chester Forks going super defensive for the lead. Elias Sami has got no way round so far, but remember, these cars are very small. You've got to block extremely well to have an effect. And up the inside goes Elias Sami. Brilliant cutback as they go into the double left-hander. He's up to the lead for the first time in this race. The working together is all over now. White lining it as we come into the boot. Sami just about holding on, but around the outside goes Chester Forks, which becomes the inside of the boot. Fantastic move to get back into the lead ahead of his teammate. 1 lap left to go here. It looks like it's these two going to the end. Alfie Davidson is slightly catching though, even with that bit of battling behind. Davidson just about clinging on to third, followed by Uzanov, and Stubbs might even come into this. But a bit of a gap between Forks and Sami now. Can Forks hold on? What
a move from your race leader, and this is a change in position for third. Is that third? No, for fourth position. That is LBJ Stubbs now losing out to Margaret's Corvette. Side by side now with the XL Motorsport car, and there is a car off right at the last second. But we're on the final lap. What are we going to see when we come back to these two teammates? Elias Sami, is he going to try and pull the move that his teammate did on the last lap, late on the brakes, on the boot, or no? But it looks like it is going to be once again, a 1-2 for the Danny Curl Academy drivers. Checkered flag will be out, and that is a P3 for Alfie Davidson, Dimitar Uzanov, and LBJ Stubbs. Brilliant drive from that XL kart in that 5th position.
Wow, that was a mammoth effort from Chester Forks to hold on to that. Elias Sami sent a fantastic move, and they didn't really cost each other enough time. Still battling, but that inside, outside, through the boot section ensured Chester Forks held on to that win. And what a win it was. Elias Sami with the fastest lap. Couldn't quite make the move stick at the end there, but great work from those two teammates. Alfie Davidson in third, followed by Dimitar Uzanov, LBJ Stubbs, Margaret Kavekis, Mason Hibbert, Charlie Clough, Ethan Owen, and the Say brothers in 10th and 11th. Great race from all of those drivers, and that is the Miami Water Swifts done. Fantastic final from them, and great result for Chester Forks, rounding out another final win.
What a brilliant job. That is it then for our X30 Senior, Junior and our Water Swifts. Here we go then, anxious teammates as they head through towards scrutineering.
We're okay so far. We do know Alfie Davidson is under investigation for something very early on in the race. We don't know what quite that's for, but just a reminder, these results are provisional. But looks all clear for your top two of Chester Forks and Elias Sami. Look at everyone enjoying the lovely sun, enjoying this great day, some great racing. Thank you to everyone watching. Thank you once again to you watching at home. Obviously part of the SlipStream contingent, and it's fantastic to see such a great viewership for this fantastic event.
Well, we have to remember this has been the biggest Wilton Mill Club Championships event we have ever had, with 327 drivers entered. But we are not over with the action yet. In fact, we have plenty more to come, because up next is our Junior Max B final.
So this is going to be the first time that we see some drivers back again from their finals, the 4 that repochaged. I'm actually going to be very curious to see who it is, because we had those penalties. Let's have a look, though. They're going to be at the back of this B final, but at the front on pole for this one is Jensen Walker, followed by Finn Davenport, Nelson Taylor, Warwick Milam, and Noah Clare, are your top 5. Aston Tab goes from 6th position, followed by Daniel Adamitis, Thanawarat Vejabuti, William Kidd Glass, and Connor Large rounding out your top 10. Ryuma Komatsu is followed by Jack Dimbleby on row 6. Row 7 is Molly Meisen, Luca Lewin, Miles Cleworth, and Lachi Yordanov, followed by Harry Harvey, Jack Bowie. And your last of the top 20 are Tyler Mason-Gray and Christian Kehoff. Ronnie Jones and Ben Morgan are row 11, followed by Jacob Smith and Zane Perry. Hugo Hobson and Harrison McNeely go from row 13, followed by Jack Corser, Joshua Robinson, Alexander Lexiski on row 15, and Jensen Evans rounding out your top 30. And your repechage drivers, Ellis Dealey, Alexander Stefanov, Cody Crudgington, and Hakeem Batt. Did seem like a couple drivers lost out in all of that, but those are your drivers that have made their way back into the B final. Might be able to see them do the unthinkable of go C, B, and then A. Let's see, it's going to be a mammoth effort in this 34 kart grid. Incredibly competitive 84 car entry for the Junior Max. But this is your B final, headed up by Jensen Walker on pole on the left side of your screen with the mean looking black bumper. Round the last corner we go, and through the tram lines, headed up onto your B final. Here we go. First corner, good start there for Jensen Walker. Manages to hold out into the lead, and followed by Finn Davenport very closely. All of the drivers getting through the first couple corners very well. Good start. Oh, and round goes third place. The number 1, 2, 3 of Warwick Milam out before he even got to the corner, and he's stuck there. Rest of the drivers all concertinaing up at the end of Christmas corner. Funny place to have an off there. Warwick Milam down from 3rd. He just locked up on the brakes, I think. I'm not sure if there was contact, but he's out of this one. That's going to allow Finn Davenport and Jensen Walker to run away with this one slightly. And driver off on the grass there. Tyler Mason-Gray, after getting a good start, can't quite hold on to it, gets forced off. But good start from the top 2. Move there. That is the number 110 of Molly Meisen getting ahead of Jack Dimbley. Good start for Molly Meisen. Drivers still battling out as we go through these last corners. The 111 skipping over, trying to skip all of it. And there's the 21. Oh, one of our repechage drivers can't quite make it work. He had a really good start there by the looks of it. That was Stefanov, who didn't quite make it work at the end of that lap. But it is Jensen Walker into the lead of this one. Here's your battle for second place of the 91 of Finn Davenport losing out, I think, to Nelson Taylor. More drivers go round. Someone's pod going off there. I can't tell who it is because we can't see their number from the bit of bodywork that's gone. 16 of, who is that? Ellis Dealey, one of our repechage drivers, got up to 20th on that first lap. Huge shame for him losing out there after repechaging from the C final, winning it on the countback from the penalties. We're rounding out lap 2 of a very hectic start is Jensen Walker in the lead. Wow.
What a start we just had from the
Junior Max
B finalists. I mean, this isn't even the final, and we've had drivers off circuit, grassroots, off-roading, all sorts, but it looks like it's all calming down a bit now because Jensen Walker has a 7th, 10th lead, but Nelson Taylor, your man in second place, is under some pressure by the looks of it. That is a retired car, unfortunately, number 13 of Ben Morgan, who his day has come to an end early, but your fastest driver on circuit right now is Miles Cleworth, who is in the mix of it right now in 8th position.
Yeah, good start from 15th all the way out to 8th. Good start from some of our repechage drivers as well. We saw Ellis Dealey sadly losing out after making some really great moves on the opening lap. But Hakeem Batt is up to 22nd from 34th, followed closely by Cody Crudgington, his pair from that C final that got repechaged. Great moves. Finn Davenport has lost out big time on that lap, going from 3rd all the way down to 8th after being 2nd at the start of this one. Jensen Walker starting to run away with this, basically toe-to-toe on pace with Nelson Taylor. Here's a move from the 73 of Connor Large up the inside of Aston Tab, and still side by side. Miles Cleworth, who we said is made up from 15th, now under pressure again from the 73. Can't quite make the move stick, just about hanging on to all that is Connor Large. I'm not sure how. That was a very hectic few corners, but maybe losing out here, Miles Cleworth. Up the inside of the left and being followed very closely through by Aston Tab. He's going to lose out a lot here as Connor Large. 3 positions lost out of the exit of that corner into the boot. And Finn Davenport making a couple positions back after that big loss last lap. But a big battle here. Up 5th place, headed up now by Aston Tab. Miles Cleworth up to 5th position. Starting to lose ground to this top pack. already 2.5 seconds down from 4th place. Here is the pack behind them, I think it is. No, sorry, that's Aston Tab heading that one up. Molly Misen trying to make moves. The number 252 skirting across the graph. That's William Kidd Glass losing a few positions. Shame to see there another driver. That's William Kidd Glass just about forming back up at the head of this pack. This is the battle for, I think, 17th place. Oh, where on earth did he come from? The number 177 of Jacob Smith. Not taking the normal racing line through the track there, but here we go. Drivers coming through. Only 4 minutes left to go at this one. The start of this race has gone so quickly. These top 4 have really broken away, and there's big packs starting to form, especially this one. All of these drivers are battling out constantly.
I mean, the whole field is single file heading through that final chicane and over the line for once again, but that is Jenson Walker, whose gap is being maintained so far. He is setting the fastest lap, so he is saying his intentions, but that is car number 73, Connor Large, making a move back down the inside as they bang wheels, and that car number 77, Ashton Tab, goes straight over the grass and loses out. Connor Large lost out on the last lap, so he's aggressively trying to get those positions back, and he does gain from that. Ooh. Here we have some wheel banging behind again, some more grassroots from some drivers. That is another driver that is going to be missing out on the rest of this final in a DHR car. Devastated, clearly frustrated.
There's those emotions. I think Aston Tab, he just about held on after getting onto the grass at the exit of Ashby, but the contact shoved him off, and it's really unfortunate for him to be losing out. I think he's in the wrong way series. I think he should be over in Spain doing the WRC this weekend with moves like that. Speaking of moves, here is the number 141 of Noah Clare, being caught up by Daniel Adamitis. They've lost out to the front two, so this is now a dogfight for 3rd position. He's going to know that. Are we going to see defending going into the boot? I'm not sure he's going to have to, but he still checks the shoulder. Jenson Walker and Nelson Taylor still putting in basically identical lap times with that 0.7 of a gap. Never really changing, but they're both pulling away from these two. Noah Clare not having to defend just yet, but he might have to, I reckon, as we make the run up to Christmas corner. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. Fastest lap of the race from Connor Large, making a repechage. Here is the battle for 3rd once again. Noah Clare going slightly defensive. Daniel Adamitis just about holding on. Just a reminder, it's these top 4. These are the 3rd and 4th positions. Oh, move up the inside for for Daniel Adamitis. Good move into Ashby. Textbook move as Noah Clare left the door open. These two are the last of your repechage positions who will be going up into the A final if they stay where they are.
Brave moves, battling still just under 2 minutes to go plus a lap, and these drivers are battling it out. They are on the chopping block. They cannot let Connor Large, who just set the fastest lap, get involved in the mix of this, otherwise they are going to be in trouble like that. Too hot on the heels, I would say, in my opinion. 1 minute and 30 seconds plus a lap to go. They are best off getting their heads down, because so far Walker, Taylor, Adamitis and Clare, all your drivers making it through to the main event this evening, the Senior Max final.
Yeah, you're right though. Clareworth and Large are really making inroads here. That little bit of battle in between Clare and Adamitis might have cost them something. Adamitis has got away though. He was clearly the faster car of the two, and that's put a car in between himself and a possible lack of being repechage. So really, really decisive move from him at the perfect time. Clareworth is just about putting his front bumper into our shot here. Clare is going to start being under pressure. We've only got 40 seconds plus a lap here. 2 or 3 laps left to go as we head through into the first couple corners. But Jenson Walker and Nelson Taylor still about the same distance away from each other. Here is some battling further behind with a couple of your repechage drivers of, who was that? That was Stefanov, I think, up in 21st position. Making some great moves after starting at the back of this one after being repechaged. This is the battle, I think, for 17th place, headed up by Hakeem Bart. One of the drivers, Zane Perry, has lost out big on that last lap, going from 16th down to 27th. Shame to see that. But yes, all of these drivers looking to score some good points here in the B final. About halfway up. You've got to remember how big the entry in this. Getting halfway up in the B final is fantastic stuff.
Well, absolutely. And there is 3 seconds plus a lap to go on the clock then. Another driver who struggled a bit clearly was one of our C finalists, Cody Gudington, who has just missed out. But here we have the battle a bit further down the pack as they are through the chicane and on to what will be the penultimate lap of the race. We have another lap. Where has this race even gone though?
Yeah. It's Gone so quickly, but all move here. That's the number 80 being overtaken by Hugh Hobson, I think, in the number 89. Great move there into Christmas, textbook stuff. But we're now on the penultimate lap, like you say. Only a few more chances for these drivers up at the sharp end of the field to be repechaged. These drivers nearer the bottom of the field, trying to get all the points they can. There is your leader, Jensen Walker. That's the gap we've had pretty much all race. All 49 losing out there. That's Joshua Robinson not having a great end to his race. But there is your leader, Jensen Walker, making his way onto the final lap. Done fantastically throughout this whole race. There is a couple of drivers further down the field. The number, oh no, sorry, that's your leader, the number 225, Jensen Walker. Apologies.
We've not even seen him.
He's so far ahead, I didn't even recognise he was up the road. But these two look like they're going to round out this one. Daniel Adamitis has managed to hold on, but this is the battle for the last spot, for the repechage into the A final. Miles Clareworth has finally got onto the back of Noah Clare. Will Noah Clare be able to hold on? Only a couple more corners left, realistically. One more chance left to do it, but no chances here for 225 of Jensen Walker. He's going to round out, loose nose cone or not, through across the line, taking the win for the B final. Nelson Taylor rounds out second place. Daniel Adamitis is going to come home in third, and Noah Clare just about holds on to fourth place in that final repechage. Battle here, the number 64 of Jack Dimbleby making the move. Just how he was fending off Hugh Hobson on that one. Hugh Hobson making great moves on that one, up from 25th to 12th. Other big movers, I mean, Miles Clareworth started in 15th and got up to 5th. Connor Large from 10th up to 6th. Other drivers further down the pack, one of our repechage drivers, Alexander Stefanov from 32nd to 20th. That was a great race, but the drivers going through are Jensen Walker, Nelson Taylor, Daniel Adamitis and Noah Clare. We'll go into your A final later on.
Brilliant job from those four drivers. We didn't quite get to see what we hoped, which was a C finalist to make it through to the main event, but it was a good effort. It was unfortunate that we lost all of them on the initial couple of laps of the race, but that is it then for that set of Junior Rotax drivers. But you will be seeing Walker, Taylor, Adamitis and Clare back. Colin Lodge, though, set the fastest lap after making his way through the pack, dropping down. It is unfortunate for him that he kind of dropped back in the middle stages of that race, because he would have been one of those drivers up there contending to make it into the main event this afternoon. But here you have our next lot of drivers out, our Intermax drivers out, and the tension is building on the Dagommi grid for their final.
Little shout out there for Hakeem Bart as well, one of our other C final drivers, 34th to 17th. That's a fantastic drive. Brilliant, brilliant drive. But here we go then, on to our next race, the final for the Rotax Inters. Here we go then, this is their only final, 10 minutes plus one lap to make all of the moves count. On pole is Achille Nane Giannoni, who we saw make a fantastic run in heat number 2 and win that. Flynn Grantham has had a fantastically consistent day in second place, followed by Marley Fisher, Will Eden, Noah Wicklow and Isaac Garth are your top 6. Charlie Heffer, Thomas Laidler, William Moore and Adam Batt round out your top 10, followed by Ethan Manzi, Noah Hobson on row 6. Row 7 is Freya Lally, Ellie Owen, Eddie Duncan, Jude Story, Alfie Phillipson and Felix Sheldon Hayward, followed by Finley Thompson and Rudra Gokulnath rounding out your top 20. George Whiteman is 21st, followed by Dewey Hockridge, Matthew Lilly and James Carver. Behind them is Arthur Kaiser, Seiki Komatsu, Jake Hansford, Dagothor Sigurdsson, Edison Burrows and Byron Webb round out your top 30, and your last 4 drivers are Billy Grommet, Ethan Coupland, Roshan Bachada and Harry Carthy trying to make some inroads on this one. And it's a 34 kart grid that's coming round to the line for the start of this one.
We are halfway through our finals, but don't underestimate our Intermax drivers, and they are through the tram lines they go, and that will be your pole sitter that leads through turn 1 and 2. Brilliant start for Achille Giannone so far as they lead up into Christmas corner for the first time. Defensive line, so that means your Marley Fisher in second place is going to get the better run. Some grassroots from drivers further down the pack, but it looks like they are all going to rejoin. Nothing quite like the Junior Max B final start, but everyone else managed to rejoin the track and make it through Christmas corner and into the middle sector. Okay, but look how close the battle for the lead is getting already. That's Molly Fisher and Flynn Grantham in the 26 car up in the top 3 already. Flynn Grantham goes for a move already straight over the curve, and he turns himself around right at the initial stage of the race, puts himself on the grass, and he's trying to rejoin the track, but he loses out on the opportunity of winning round 2. That's another driver that's gone around. Carnival 97 round, and the Lando Norris-inspired helmet has gone around also. We spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Jake, what a messy start then for the Intermax drivers. However, Achille Giannone has gained out of this. Marley Fisher, though, still hot on their heels at 3/10 behind.
Textbook commentators curse that. Shame that all of those drivers lost out. Flynn just went for the move at the boot at the last second and almost had it, but didn't quite have the inside line, ended up skipping over the curb. And once that back end goes, it's incredibly hard to save, especially on these shorter karts. So big shame after such a good day so far. But it's benefited Giannone and Fisher, who have started to break away at the front of this one. Giannone, like we said, winning heat number 2 and still with the fastest lap of this one, 4/10 of a second quicker than Marley Fisher last time round. Drivers filing in behind. Your top 10 is Giannone, Fisher, Eden, Garth, Heffer, Wicklow, Manzi, Moore and Phillipson, but that's about to change. Heffer up the inside of Isaac Garth. Good move to make up into 4th position as he tries to hunt down Will Eden, who's starting to break away slightly. But good move from Charlie Heffer there. Good old textbook move into Christmas corner. And these drivers are going to have to settle down if they want any chance of getting these top 2 who are starting to break away at the top of your shot there. Look at the gap that Giannone's got. About 7/10 already, punching in those fastest laps. We're going to have an answer for them. We'll see when they come around this time if anyone's got an answer for Giannone's pace. But at the moment, it's looking like they're going to run away with this.
7/10 and expanding, we will see, like you said, as they come across the line. But what a brilliant drive so far from Isaac Garth and Charlie Heffer, drivers who we haven't seen quite this far up the grid today just yet, running in both up 3 positions so far. But there is your leader off in the distance, extended that gap like we thought, but this is a move down the inside, further down the pack. Car number 15, Ethan Manzi, down the inside of Noah Wilco, just behind Isaac Garth then for the position inside the top 5. Achille Giannone off in the distance. Marley Fisher is going to have to work hard with Will Eden to even touch, but there is time. We've got just under 7 minutes plus a lap to go. Let's have a look further down the grid though at how the drivers have had some starts. Freya Lally has unfortunately dropped back ever so slightly after getting up into 12th position just outside the top 10. Edison Burrows right at the back of the field, not had a great start, nor has Thomas Laidler or Harry Carthy, but it looks like Thomas Laidler is making his efforts to climb through the field now. He's got 6 minutes to do so. Achille Giannone sets the fastest lap. Did they need to? Not too sure. Another move down the inside from that car number 15, Ethan Manzi, again getting into that 4th position, was it?
Oh, that was, Ethan Manzi going up to 5th ahead of Isaac Girth. Isaac Girth didn't get a good run out of there and just fended off Alfie Phillipson, who ended up on the grass but kept it all in one piece. But this is good battling here. Like you say, the leader, Giannone, has skipped off the road, and these are going to battle for the final podium positions. Alfie Phillipson up to 5th place ahead of Isaac Garth. He's lost out a couple places that lap. That's not what he needs here. Ethan Manzi is at the front of this one, and Charlie Heffer heads up this pack. Marley Fisher is, like you say, dropping off the back of Giannone. He's barely in our shot anymore. Marley Fisher is going to have to put the hammer down, otherwise they've got 6, 7, 8, probably about 10 drivers waiting patiently. Actually, no, that's definitely wrong there. Not being patient at all. Waiting to pick up the scraps here. 5.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. There's all still to play for here. Probably not for the lead if Giannone keeps up this pace. Down to the 49 zeros and 49.1 that last lap. Fantastically consistent. No moves going on, no position changes in this top 10 so far. But this could be one here. Ethan Manzi under pressure from Phillipson. Phillipson up the inside, just about gets ahead as they move through the boots. And that is Alfie Phillipson up to 5th place after starting from 17th. Fantastic start from Alfie Phillipson. Great moves there.
Both of those teammates definitely two to look out for. They are trying their best to make as much up the grid as they can. But there's your race leader off in the distance. Achille Giannone, Marley Fisher trying their best. And there was a move round the outside, was that? Isaac Garth, I'm not sure if he just kept his position, made his car as wide as he could there, and on the or the exit curb they take. This is the pack consisting of Charlie Heffer, Alfie Phillipson and Ethan Manzi, the two teammates who have been doing a brilliant job to try and make their way through the grid. Now it is still all to play for towards the back of the pack. Are we going to see a change for the race lead? I'm not too sure. There's still 4 minutes to go, but there is a significant gap there from Achille Giannone as they go round the boot and through the final chicane for another time on long the main straight. And there you see Molly Fisher leading Will Eden, Charlie Heffer and Alfie Phillipson. Look at that gap.
Yeah, it's a big old gap. It doesn't seem like that much in terms of seconds, but when you saw 3 wide as we go into Christmas corner, how on earth have they kept that in the same positions facing the same way? They haven't though. Oh, who's that off? I think that's Isaac Garth. They were having a great battle, him and Noah Wicklow, but Isaac Garth losing out there. I think they might have just had a bad run off of Christmas corner after that contact. But yeah, they went 3 wide, Garth, Wicklow and Moore. Somehow they all came out facing the same way, but Isaac Garth sadly losing a few positions after skating across the grass and now out the race. Oh, that's such a shame. Isaac Garth was doing really well there. Not happy about that, as you would be. All the adrenaline is running, and that is going to be dropping down the order as Isaac Garth. But promoting Wicklow and Moore up into 7th and 8th place. Meanwhile, Marley Fisher in 2nd place. It's seemingly the cork in the bottle at the front of your shot there. 2.9 seconds behind the leader, but they're starting a bunch up behind Fisher. 3 minutes left to go in this one. Oh, little switchback move perhaps here for the number 11 of George Whiteman on Felix Sheldon Hayward, but there's your leader, Giannone. We haven't even had to look at them. They've been so far up in the lead. I love that livery design, by the way.
Let's give them a moment,
yeah,
shall we?
Let's have the moment.
There is your race leader. Brilliant start, led the race, and is now 2.9 seconds ahead, which is why we have not seen them round the boot. And there is the battle for 2nd place, which is going to be the one to watch in the remainder 2.5 minutes of this race, consisting of Marley Fisher being put under pressure by Will Eden, who's getting considerably closer through turn 1 and 2. There you go. Marley Fisher all over that exit curb and up towards Christmas corner. Takes a look behind him, but doesn't consider going defensive just yet. Looks like he doesn't need to, because look, this is really going to bring Charlie Heffer and Alfie Phillipson, 2 drivers who've been heading through the pack together, into contention if these 2 start battling now. 2 minutes still to go, and Marley Fisher is looking controlled, I would say. Yeah,
there's a lot of pressure mounting on Marley Fisher's shoulders. They know that they're not going to catch Giannone at this rate unless they might get a penalty or something. You might want to keep that 5 seconds, but at this point it's look ahead to the end and make sure no one else gets around you, and that's not an easy task. Like we say, these smaller karts, the Rotax Minis, do not take up a lot of track, and plenty of the places around this Wilton Mill circuit are quite wide and plenty of opportune overtaking opportunities, but they've got the gap they need. I think we might see a move for 3rd place here. Charlie Heffer making the move on Will Eden, getting a great run off the last corner, and that's going to allow Marley Fisher to have a tiny bit of breathing space as these 3 battle, but no one... Oh, up the inside goes Alfie Phillipson. I was going to say no one making a move. I take it back. 2 places lost on this lap for Will Eden. All of a sudden, after looking potentially for 2nd place, he's down to 5th. Marley Fisher in all of this has benefited greatly, but here comes Phillipson making another move on the inside of Charlie Heffer up to 3rd place. Great battling. Now he's got Marley Fisher in his sights. Will they make the move? There's a bit of a gap, like you can see. Few kart lengths that Marley Fisher's got. Now Alfie Phillipson is clearly on a warpath, up from 17th place, now in 3rd. Will they be able to make it up into 2nd? This has been a great run so far, side by side. This is Will Eden trying to hold on, does just about hold on, and gets 4th position back from Charlie Heffer. Charlie Heffer down from 3rd to 5th in all of that melee. And yeah, Eden's just about hanging on.
That is a shame for him. Charlie Heffer has done a brilliant job so far this race. Not a driver who we've seen predominantly at the front of this pack today. Come into the final with clear, full confidence and made his way up onto nearly a podium position. Now dropped back ever so slightly, but it is still all to play for as these drivers are close. This is the battle then between Will Eden and Charlie Heffer, as he's just lost out, but they are still in touching distance to that car number 81, Marley Fisher, who is still maintaining that gap in 2nd place. But the clock has struck 0, which means this is going to be the penultimate lap of the race. Very defensive goes Will Eden to Charlie Heffer. Charlie had to get better exit. Let's see what Charlie Heffer can do then, approaching the middle sector of this race.
Yeah, penultimate lap here. I think these 2 know that they're not going to catch back up to 2nd and 3rd. Alfie Phillipson is still trying to hunt down Marley Fisher. Only a couple of kart lengths between them. Meanwhile, Giannone in a different postcode, like we said, still battling here is Will Eden and Charlie Heffer. Will Eden just about holding on. Can Charlie Heffer get the cutback? No. Will Eden covers it off nicely as they head down towards the line for the final lap of this race. Up ahead, Marley Fisher and Alfie Phillipson are getting closer and closer by the second. Not as close as these two, but here they come through Oblivion and the elbow. Bit wide there for Will Eden. Is he going to need to defend? Yes, right over to the right side of the track, but Charlie Heifer not quite close enough on this occasion. Look at how close it is for second place though. Marley Fisher has held on brilliantly throughout all this, but still got half a lap left to do it. Will Eden, can he hold on? Just about so far. Here is your leader though, holding on beautifully. 4.5 seconds up the road is Akila Giannoni, rounding the last couple corners in that glorious white, red and blue and gold kart to take the win of the Rotax Mini final. Little celebration as we come across the line. Who's going to come across the line second? It's just about Marley Fisher. Celebration from Alfie Phillipson after a great charge, and Will Eden and Charlie Heifer stay in that order. Ethan Manzi, Noah Wicklow, William Moore, Noah Hobson and Adam Butt round out your top 10 for a great Rotax Mini into final.
What a brilliant top 6. That was a really good effort from each driver. Marley Fisher did a brilliant job with the pressure that was building up behind that 81 car of Alfie Phillipson. What a drive through the grid. That is up 14 places.
Just seen Flynn Grantham, who was up at the sharp end of that took the spin earlier in the race, managed to make it back up to 12th, I think that's, am I right in saying?
Yeah, with a fastest lap.
Wow, fantastic recovery drive after an early, when you spin in those early stages, you lose less time, you lose a lot more track position, so you have so much more work to do. But good work from Alfie Phillipson, Nana Giannoni, making the move. Didn't really need to ever look back from first all the way, every lap. Win. Marley Fisher from third to second. Alfie Phillipson, might we say, 17th to third place. A fantastic effort from Alfie.
Do you know what though? I feel like that's been the story of most of the finals we've seen so far. The race leader has really managed to pull a couple second gap.
Yeah.
I think that the rest of this racing is to make for. I want to see flag-to-flag battles for the lead.
Exactly, yes, but we're going to move on to your Honda Cadet final now. Here it comes. Honda 200 Cadets with their final, another 10-minute plus 1 lap race. You can see the drivers here for the last race of the Rotax Inters, just checking to see if their front bumpers are legal. And we'll be moving into the Honda Cadets very shortly. Here are your grades for them then. On pole for this one is Sawyer Henderson with a great race earlier. Luca Bicocci with a fantastic run today after coming up through the pack many times. Oliver Ratton in third, your last of the podium positions for this grid. Shailen Srikantan in fourth place, followed by Archie Cannon, Finley Thursfield. And on row 4 is Jensen Kula, Luke Hamill, Kean Doherty and Archie Edgar rounding out your top 10. Kyle Kerr goes from 11th place, followed by Freddie Drury. And on row 7 is Jesse Bailey, Oliver Vickers, Phoebe Shelton, followed by Kabir Singh, Sebastian McCarthy and Alfie Love in 18th place. Row 10 is Callum Ryan and Freddie Williams in your top 20, followed by Krish Doshi, Ari Aslam, Tommy Burgoyne and Finn Hollis. Row 13 is Jacob West, Louis Dawson, followed by Harry Parker Ray, Jack McGinn, Albie Krosk and Fraser Messer. Your last row of the grid is Felix Bessel and Archie Horton for your 32 karts Honda Cadet final.
32 Honda Cadet karts out there. That is a brilliant grid for the Honda Cadet class, and a lot of these consist of privateers. That is what's so good about a lot of the Cadet class. It gives them the opportunity, obviously, young drivers to learn to kind of find their feet and learn how to work without teammates, which can be challenging in such strong grids like this.
Yeah, it is. This is exactly the kind of proving ground these young racing drivers need. There's a good friend of mine, John Samu, who did Honda Cadets in similar races, and he's an absolute monster in a go-kart these days. So expect, if you're ever wanting to make some early bets on who might end up in F1, you never know.
Well, that is what we tend to see in the Honda Cadet class. Drivers moving over into national championships, or the drivers who move into the national championship in the Honda Cadet class, it is always very competitive. And when they decide to make the move into other classes, they are usually drivers to look out for.
Sorry, we've been joined by our third commentator again, which is Mr. Waspington in the studio, but yeah, that was...
Where's Henry when you need him?
Yeah, he was getting all up in the business then. Apologies if you heard me squirming. But yes, drivers just waiting to go out into the race for this one. checking my shoulder here like the driver's doing their defensive moves just to try and find the B, but no, he's not here. We're all clear, but yes, I'm really excited for this one. We've still got a few fantastic races for you left to go. This is the Honda Cadets, and then we have the joint Iami and Rotax Cadets, and then the Senior and Junior Max A finals at the end of the day. We've managed to get back on track with the timings here. Obviously, thank you for being patient with us through all of the red flag procedures. It's never something we want to see, but it has to be done properly, being given time for all of the appropriate procedures to take place. So thank you for your patience and for sticking with us for the finals here live on Slipstream. Sawyer Henderson is going to take this one away. Luca Picocci has had a fantastic day, like you said, moving through the pack. Yeah. And Oliver Ratton as well. All of these drivers have been up the sharp end all day. I think this is going to be a great final.
That is correct, absolutely. I mean, the first heat of the day, that is a driver who's had a nightmare on the outlap, but managing to make their way around now. Look at, there is a close-up of the drivers going round before they head onto the formation lap, and let's see what we have in store. It is brilliant. It is 5:25 in the afternoon with this light and the sun still out, and so many finals ahead of us. That is how you know you are into prime racing season here at Wilton Mill.
Oh yeah, some of these drivers in their sort of first racing season as well. A few of the novices have somehow ended up in one big bunch. Kabir Singh, Alfie 11, Callum Ryan, all going from 16th, 18th and 19th respectively. Great qualifying from them to get so high up in the finals in their novice
Jesse
races.
Bailey is off novice plates this weekend, I believe, but was really, really far up there in the grid compared to the rest of the novices over at round one. It was a really impressive drive, finishing 12th overall, I think, with possibly even a penalty that set them back. But starting a bit further down the grid, we will see.
Got a driver with the engine, I think, has cut off. Or maybe they're jostling for the grid positions? No, it's the...
Oh, they're just waving?
Oh, they're just waving. Yeah, maybe they want to chat, feeling lonely. You never know. Marshall's plenty of friendly
definitely
people.
Definitely a problem.
Oh, I think he might be out. No. Oh, no, that's the number 11 of Krish Doshi. One of our... Yeah, real shame for Krish. Being out before it's even started. Maybe, is there any chance they get back going? No, I think they're being pushed into the pits for good. That's a real shame. Never what you want to see, the race being over before it's even started. But for these drivers, it's about to start now. Green flag is out for this standing start of the Honda 200s. 5-second board is out. Drivers are going to rise the revs, getting ready to jump off the line, and off they go. On pole, Luca Bicocci gets a great start ahead of Sawyer Henderson. They're side by side as they go through the first couple corners. Who is that makes up the lead? I think it's Bicocci who's got into the lead. Yes, it is. Great start from him as they got white line it all the way on the big old run up to Christmas corner. Drivers staying in the same positions up in the top 10, but battling going on further down. Little bit of contact, but all the drivers facing the right direction as we make our way through Christmas corner and down to Ashby. Move for 4th place there. Great move. I think that was Archie Cannon getting ahead of Shailan Srikantan. Great move, and side by side here, battling into the left-hander. That's the number 64, making some moves, and the 31 side by side. Oh, the 14 goes off. I think the back wheels have locked up. That's a real shame. It looks like they're out of this one, but there is Luca Bicocci. Started second, but already up into the lead of this one.
I mean, that is no surprise from what we've seen from that driver today already. Brilliant job, but the question is, are we going to see another race leader in the final run off with the win? I hope someone gives him a challenge for it here, but there was your pole sitter, Sawyer Henderson, that dropped back on the start. Let's see what he is able to do, because he is hot on the heels of your man in first place so far right now, but there is a change for 3rd position. That is Archie Gannon straight down the inside of Oliver Ratton for 3rd place early on in this race, wanting to catch onto the back of those two in front as they head around the middle sector of this lap. That is Luca Bicocci that still leads, looking confident so far, but there is just 1/10 in between these two drivers as there is a big train of the top 12 heading towards the final sector. Look at that. That is Sawyer Henderson, who is going to be eager to get that lead of the race back after a brilliant pole position was gained, but through the final chicane they go then once again, and let's see what Henderson is able to do on this next lap. Through turn 1 they go, and towards turn 2 Bicocci has gained ever so slightly, but Archie Gannon in 3rd place is right on the back bumper. Is he going to go in for the move? for second place. Yes, he is fastest driver on circuit right now. It looked like the right move for him as he gets a brilliant exit out of Christmas corner.
Luke has got to be careful here. Archie Cannon is on an absolute warpath. 3 laps, 3 moves, fastest lap of the race. Bococci got a slight bit of a gap that time for the first time this race, but the amount of pressure he's feeling now is going to be huge. Obviously, being in the lead is exactly where you want to be in a race, but with 12 karts bearing down on you all in a big old line, you look back and it's just karts after karts after karts. I imagine he won't ever want to look back after that, but he's going to have to, because Archie Cannon is on some fantastic pace and is going to look to win this one. Further down the field there is the number 12 of Luke Hamill making a good start on this one. Oh, actually dropping a few places, down from 8th to 11th. There go your leaders. Luca Bococci's got a great run through those first couple corners. Seems just to have the edge on Archie Cannon. And this is the first lap that Archie Cannon hasn't made a move into Christmas corner and made it stick. So it just proves how good that exit is for Bococci. It's exactly where he needs to as they head into the best overtaking spot on the track. But this is your battle for the lead. Bococci, Cannon, Henderson, Ratton, Srikantan, Thursfield, Doherty, Kula, Edgar, all in within 2 seconds of each other from first down to 9th place. Freddie Drury rounds out your top 10, who's backed off a little bit of Jesse Drury. Of Archie Edgar. Jesse Bailey's made a move up to 11th place ahead of Luke Hamill. And this is your battle for the lead, Archie Cannon. Bumper to bumper now. Look at these top 6 have started to break away a tad. There's a couple groups forming here, so this top 6 might be the ones to watch here if Cian Doherty can't make those moves back up and close back up. But good run here from Archie Cannon, maybe. I think he's got the run here on Luca Bococci. Is he going to make the move? Oh, he gives him a push, actually. I think he's looking to work together here. Maybe make it into a 2-horse race instead of a 6-kart race. Maybe a good option at this point, but opting to stick behind for the minute.
That wasn't a bad idea from Archie Cannon. However, we do need to consider how that has been the fastest driver on circuit every lap since the start of this race. Both setting green laps out there, personal bests, but is that going to be enough because the top 6 are all so close ahead? They probably are conscious of that when they've looked behind them. Top 6 are so close together that they are going to rein in the whole top 10 if they battle at this stage of the race at all. There is still 5.5 minutes to go. Here's the battle for 7th place, a bit further down the grid. They've just lost that kind of top 6 pack ever so slightly, but they are going to be working together, as you can see. No moves to be made for them 3, but we've got a move down the inside. Is this for the race lead? Yes, Archie Cannon knows what he can do. He knows he's faster, takes the race lead, but that is actually Sawyer Henderson, who has dropped into 3rd, who set the fastest lap. So he will be on for a good lap, gets a good run out of the corner, and it is now a close run in the top 3, top 5. That is car number 12, who has lost out ever so slightly in the middle sector of this lap. It's still all to play for. Luca Bococci though, Archie Cannon, really confident, being the fastest driver so far.
Yeah, I think he got a bit of a big old push from Sawyer Henderson as they made the run-up to Christmas. It really helped that run. Sawyer couldn't follow him through. He definitely tried to as they went side by side through Christmas. But Luca Bococci hangs on, and now he's right on the bumper once again of Archie Cannon. Will he be able to get a run-up? I think Cannon has it covered. But this is the trouble, though. Bococci did really well there not to lose out massively with this incredibly close batch of cars. If you lose out one place, you could be seeing yourself lose many of them, but sticking in 2nd and not losing any time to the now leader Archie Cannon, starting 5th, making his way up to 2nd in a couple laps and finally making a move into the lead. But there's still 4 minutes left to go, plus another lap in this one, all still to play for. We know Bococci's not going to give this one up. Looks like they're all going to stay in the same line as we head through the boot once again. Cannon, Bococci, Henderson, Ratton, Srikantan, Thursfield, all within the same second. All of these drivers wanting to win this Honda 200 Cadet final here at the Wilton Mill Kart Club Round 2. Who's going to make it? Anyone going to make any moves this time? I think there's a little bit of battling behind between Ratton and Srikantan.
It's getting close up here at the front, bumper to bumper, but Luca Bococci decides no, to stick behind your race leader for now, as does Sawyer Henderson, as these top 3 try and pull an ever so slight gap. But that is Luca Bococci with some great tow there behind Archie Cannon heading through the middle sector. Sawyer Henderson, still your fastest driver on circuit, setting personal bests, but is that going to be enough to drop Ratton, Srikantan and Thursfield, as that is your top 6 drivers, your top 6 contenders, while we still have 3 minutes to go. Your race leader is getting pushed through the boot and through the final chicane they will go. Surely we are going to see a move for the race lead soon. It is getting so close up here, but through turn 1 they will go. No looks back from your race leader. He said he feels the bump off that driver in P2 of Luca Bioschi, who is now your fastest driver on track, to no surprise. Move further down the field though, down the inside goes car number 23 for 5th.
I think he was defending
to regain
there.
Oh, defending for 5th position. I was too busy looking still at this race lead battle to see, is Luca Bioschi going to go in? He still hasn't just yet.
It's almost like you've got 3 MJR carts in 3rd, 4th and 5th, and these two are in the same liveries as well. It's almost like we've just got one blend of the same car. It almost looks like that with how close they are. Bococci right on the bumper again of Archie Cannon, not opting to make a move into the boot. Still, all of these drivers in the same order with 2 minutes plus a lap left to go. This is all going to come to a boil because they're still only separated by 1 second. 6 carts all in the same second. It's so close out there, but these top two have kind of got a bit of a gap. That's the most they've had this whole race. Bococci pushing Cannon, trying to make this into a 2-kart race instead of a 6-kart battle for the lead. But I think as soon as it starts battling, it's all going to come together very, very quickly. So, if you're Bococci, do you stay behind for longer? Do you push Cannon and try and make the move on the last lap? But as the time starts ticking down, 1.5 minutes to go and 1 lap, your number of opportunities really starts to dwindle. As it gets closer, Archie Cannon's going to know he's going to have to start defending. Slightly defensive line, not quite opting to go for the racing line is Cannon. Bococci following him through, and he's got a couple kart lengths back to Henderson now. Henderson only very closely followed by Oliver Ratton, Sri Cantan and Thursfield. Still just hanging in there. Kean Doherty, Jensen Cooler and Archie Edgar just haven't had an answer to these top 6's pace. And it looks like 3rd to 6th doesn't have an answer for the top 2, because look how much they've broken away. This is great racing. This is
great brilliant job from the front two. Luca Bioschi still sat there, fastest driver on circuit as of now. Looked really strong so far today. It will be interesting to see who's going to come out on top. Between these two, it's looking like so far. However, we know how fast things can change on the last couple of laps of the race. But the driver we did lose, unfortunately, at the start of the race was Kyle Kerr, who is no longer in it anymore. We also lost Finn Halls, unfortunately. Ended Thursdays too soon, but we can't dwell on that too much because this is then the battle for the last place on the podium between Henderson and Oliver Ratton, and he is right on the heels of Oliver Ratton. Are they still going to try and work together to keep on the tail of these front two? I am guessing they will as they head through turn 1 and 2 once again. Luca Bioschi still right there. There is just over 1/10 in between. Here is a defensive move from your race leader. He goes defensive. Clock strikes 0 plus a lap. Can he defend on the penultimate lap and the last lap of the race? We will see. This is a hard circuit to defend all the time, but they go side by side, and Luca Bioschi makes it down the inside. Archie Cannon all over the exit curb, but Luca Bioschi straight down the inside into the race lead. Brilliant move. Archie Cannon now down into 2nd.
Wow. Cannon obviously going defensive into Ashby, one of the most opportune overtaking opportunities on the track. He did that into Christmas, so Bococci was wise to it. Went wide, took the normal line and cut back before the corner was even done. Cannon pointing forward, but it's the last lap. There's going to be no pleasantries anymore between these two. But, there's a driver who's going to have to get out of the way here, being lapped. This could throw a cat amongst the pigeons. Bococci, though, still holding on. Cannon right on his bumper. The battle for 3rd is getting mixed up with this back marker now. The number 25 doesn't probably realise that he's in amongst this incredible lead battle. This is going to be chaos until the end. But they all get through cleanly and safely. Blue flags flying for that driver. Bococci defensive. Little bit of contact between Cannon. Look at the next 3 coming through. Sawyer Henderson goes around the outside of Archie Cannon. Archie Cannon got a bad run. Bococci now going to have to fend off 4 drivers, let alone just 1. But I think he's got the gap to do it. Cannon just about holds on to 3rd place. Bococci's going to round the chicane after a fantastic move last lap through Ashby. The cutback move is going to mean he takes the Honda Cadet win, followed by Sawyer Henderson with a brilliant last lap pass around the outside. Archie Cannon comes home in 3rd after not being able to hang on to that lead throughout most of the race. Oliver Ratton in 4th, Sri Cantan in 5th, and Finley Thursfield in 6th. Once again, your top 5 separated by 0.85 of a second. What a fantastic race for the Honda Cadets. The rest of your top 10 was Finley Thursfield, Kean Doherty, Jensen Cooler, Archie Edgar and Freddie Drury. Jesse Bailey with a great race in that one. All of the rookies, 15th, 16th and 18th. Great races from that one. Some of the rookies, sorry, not all of the rookies. Yeah, fantastic race there.
Brilliant job done from Archie Cannon. I know still a podium position, but he will be devastated that he pushed for the race lead that entire race and lost it right there at the final sector heading into the final chicane. But still, nonetheless, good points, championship points, considering this is round 2, the start of the year, and they all deserved that. The top 5, that was a good run.
Yeah, fantastic race from all those drivers. That is the last you'll see of the Honda Cadets, quite sadly. I'd love to see more of them after that. But there are your Miami Cadet and Rotax Cadets. Your joint grid are going to be joining us shortly, just warming up the cars, ready to go out for their final heat, which we'll be taking you through now.
All right, and we are about to see our split grid for the final time today. It is time for the Micromax and Water Swift Restricted Final. They are out on circuit together, but start slightly different times, so our Micros will be out slightly ahead of our Water Swift Restricted. We see the battles. I mean, in that last heat that we saw a change for the lead and then change for the race lead in each class every lap. So it is going to be a brilliant final from these lot of youngsters. These are our youngest drivers out on circuit. 5 o'clock, time for a final, ready to go. Absolutely.
Here are your grids then for this split grid. The Rotaxes is headed up by Wraith Owen, followed by Benjamin Slivar. Rudrapatrap Singh Shekhawat goes from 3rd place, followed by Will Wainwright. Chow Vieira, Harry Riley is in 6th place. Felix Tandy is in 7th, followed by Teddy Shepherd, Caden Hanley, and Ralph Ewer rounding out your top 10. Charlie Cale goes from row 6 alongside Jack Gould, followed by Johnny Butterfield, Oakley Howlett, Jack Reed, Hugo Senna, Jonah Allen, and Lanny Eden in 18th. Alexander Petak goes from row 10, followed by Will Ewer, Nicodem Petak, Jackson Foots, Oliver Woodhall and Logan Hodgetts are, I believe, the start of your Water Swifts. They are followed by Bobby Slater, Louis Wilson, Hendrix Fallat, Cole Parrish, Caden Hakura, Riley Aston Wilkins, and your last few drivers in the Water Swifts are George Askew, Darcy Darnford, Harley Bebb, and Ollie West, rounding out the Water Swift grid. So just a reminder on this one, you get the batch of all of these carts are going to be on the track at the same time. Here are your first batch of them, the Honda Cadets. They'll go out. Round about half a lap later will be the Water Swifts, which will take the lights afterwards. Here we go then, Wraith Owen. We had some complications before with the start, but it looks like we're going to get away cleanly this time. Wraith Owen going to take us down the tram lines for the start of this one. Good start from the left side of the grid as all of the drivers head down towards the first left and then the first right, all flat out as they make the long run uphill to Crook. A couple of drivers round on the first corner already. That's a shame. That's probably going to flag the start for the Water Swifts, but drivers still coming together through Christmas Corner. Those drivers have got back going, so we should see a good start for the Water Swifts. There's about 8 drivers there that missed out. There go your Water Swifts. They do manage to get a clean start. Spoke too soon. There's a bit of bumping through the first couple of corners, but they're all still pointing the right way as we head up towards Christmas for the second time in the first race.
Absolutely. Here we go. The Danny Curl Academy car leads once again for your Water Swift Restricted, but it is a battle side by side for second place so far in the initial lap. But that will be that car number 119 that makes it out in front. Now they are battling for the race lead. They're going to be side by side, nearly 3 ways down into the middle sector, but they all slot in one by one.
Wraith Owen takes the lead in the Rotaxes and Oliver Woodhall takes the lead in the Water Swifts. Not for long though. Here comes, who is that? The number 25, 29, sorry. Where's he come from? Bobby Slater up a few positions on that first lap. Great start for him. It's Bobby Slater, followed by Oliver Woodhall. Couple drivers losing out there. Logan Hodgetts losing a couple positions on the start of that one, but it's going to be for the Water Swifts. Bobby Slater, Ollie Woodhall, Hendrix Fallat, Louis Wilson and Logan Hodgetts are your top 5. Here they come up to Christmas Corner. Woodhall doesn't want to give up this lead yet. He doesn't, just about makes it through, and he's trying to be followed by Hendrix Fallat, but doesn't quite make the move stick. Bobby Slater holds on to second place, but Oliver Woodhall takes the lead of this one. Meanwhile, in your Rotaxes, Wraith Owen leads this one. Shekhawat in second place. if the timings... Oh no, Shekawat drops down. Chal Vieira into the lead. You can see them passing in the background. Ollie Woodhall, though, will he be able to make it through the boot in the lead? Yes, just about as we go through that last couple corners. Bumper to bumper stuff. It's all up the inside. Great move for Louis Wilson up into third place. Hendricks fell out, losing a couple places, down from second to fourth on that lap. And it's Ollie Woodhall who leads. Here is your leaders for the Rotax Micro. Rafe Owen far into the lead. Chal Vieira there in second place, followed by Benjamin Slivar, Shekawat, Harry Riley, Hanley, Wainwright, Tandy, Allen and Senna are your top 10. Back to your Water Swifts. Oh, sorry, no, this is still the Micros.
Senna we saw have some problems with the race starts in the last couple of heats. So started towards the very back of the grid, but is already up there into 10th position. Here we go then. This is our Micros. That is Rafe Owen off in the distance with a 1.4 second gap. Brilliant job. Another driver who has managed to pull a gap off the race lead for their final, and that is Benjamin Schlavar doing a consistent run there in second so far. Kyle Vieira and Harry Riley. Harry Riley, one of the youngest drivers on the grid. Caden Hanley there in fifth, but it is getting close further down for... This is the battle for third position in the Rotax Micros. That is Kyle Vieira. That is just on the back of that Harry Riley kart. Trying to battle them. We've got some sideways action here from the Micros. Who is going to come out in front? That is Caden Hanley, but someone's making a move down the outside. That's Kyle Vieira. Promotes himself up just about before they go through the final chicane. That is sideways action from Felix Tandy and car number 26. Having some words with each other, wheel banging as they go three ways into turns 1 and 2. But here is further up your pack then at the Micromax. Benjamin Schlavar has lost out significantly there to Harry Riley, who is now down in third. Brilliant move, brilliant job from Harry Riley so far, a driver who has been impressive today, especially in this final now. But that is Will Wainwright putting some serious pressure on Caden Hanley. That is Caden Hanley. He's putting some serious pressure on Caden Hanley around the middle sector of this lap.
Yeah, they got past Vieira. Vieira with a brilliant move around the outside of the boot in this corner, but sadly dropping a couple positions to these two, Caden Hanley and Will Wainwright, trying to make up, catch back up to Harry Riley. Rafe Owen at the moment is running away with this one. Benjamin Slivar and Harry Riley are going to be battling out for second by the looks of it, but they are catching Rafe Owen. Still 5.5 minutes plus 1 lap left to go in this one. Penalties though for Hanley and Hodgetts. That's not good for Hanley in his bid for a podium position here. It looks like he's going to drop down at the end of this one. Now Vieira having to go up the defensive for Senna. Senna has come up from 10th in this one, all the way up to 7th amidst all that squabbling. Back to the Water Swift we go with Oliver Woodhall just about clinging on to the lead of this one. Head for Hendricks Falla, who's got back up to second place. Bit of a gap those two have got. Louis Wilson has dropped down. I think they've got Will Ewer in the mix there as well from the Rotaxes, but Woodhall and Falla are your two leaders for the Water Swifts, followed by Wilson, Slater, Hodgetts, West, Parrish, Akura and Askew are the rest of your drivers there, followed by a few others. Still 4.5 minutes left to go. Plenty of time for these drivers to sort themselves out. No moves being made there. That's the battle for third in the Water Swifts. We're flicking back though, or not. Still with the Water Swifts, that is Wilson just about making a bit of breathing space for himself as he heads round the boot section for the next time. 4.5 minutes plus 1 lap left to go in this one.
Exactly that. There is still time, and it is getting intense then for both grids of drivers, but we are still looking at our Water Swift restricted. This is the battle for the race lead. There is some serious pressure being put on your leader's back bumper right now. That is Hendricks Falla. Hendricks Falla has done a brilliant job so far today. Significant improvement from round 1 and earlier on this year. And then they've got a significant gap then to your man in 3rd, 4th and 5th, who are battling it out together, trying to make the time up. Is there enough time? There's just under 4 minutes to go, but there is a significant gap being made here. We are back to the Micromax, and this is the battle for second position, and there is going to be the move done from Harry Riley. But Benjamin Schlavar gets the move done back, gets the switch back on him, and says, nope, I will keep second place, thank you. Harry Riley loses out then, both of them taking all the exit curb. Now a significant gap being wedged between these two drivers. This is further down the pack then This is the Water Swift Restricted back to the race lead. For the Water Swift Restricted, it is side by side for second place, and that will be car number 15, Hendrix Falat, to come out in second place once again. Was putting pressure on your race leader, couldn't quite make it stick. This then is back to your Micromax grid. Caden Canley, there is Felix Tander. We saw have some wheel banging on the exit of the final corner. Couple of laps to go, he has managed to maintain his race again, but there is Benjamin Schlavar, who has managed to lay off the pressure ever so slightly from Harry Riley. Oh, we had someone having a look down the inside for fourth position, but not quite, doesn't quite get the move done. That is car number 127, Felix Tandy, having a look down the inside. He's trying to figure out where he can position his car to get better exit. All over the exit curb he goes, but here, the battle we are watching there was fourth position so far.
Move for the lead. That's the Water Swifts. Change of position. Hendrix Falat is up to the lead. Oliver Woodhall drops down to second. These two still with a good gap. The battle we saw with these two, I think, was with Lanny Eden, who was at the back of the Micromax grid. So evidently that's throwing a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons, and out on top comes Hendrix Falat. Oliver Woodhall is relegated to second, but is 100% still in this one. Here is your battle once again for second place. Benjamin Slevar just about holding on. There's Vieira and Senna battling.
Oh.
This was happening a few minutes ago, and it's happening again. Senna trying to recover some positions after starting 10th. Didn't have the best second heat. Oh, there's one of the drivers. I think that's one of the drivers. Yeah, Lanny Eden, who we said before. All side by side now. Senna looking around the outside of the left-hander. Can't make it stick, but that's going to leave him susceptible to these three cars. 2 positions lost there in his battle with Vieira. Can't quite hold on as he's forced around the outside. Yellow flags here as there's a car being recovered there. Vieira managing to hold on to 6th place though. Senna losing a couple places. Tandy getting back ahead of Senna, being followed by Shekawat, just about squeezing ahead of Senna and taking 8th place. But Wraith Owen still in this one, still leading. We haven't even had to mention him in a while. Benjamin Slevar and Harry Riley having a great battle in all this. This is Vieira. No, sorry. This is your Rotax is still. That was the battle for second you saw still kicking off. This battle's kicking off. Yes. Senna. Just about the Senna and Tandy having a right old battle in this one. Charlie Cale benefiting from this up into 9th place. But this is great from these guys.
Senna has done a brilliant job. Obviously, there was the confusion with the starts over in the heats and then significantly lost out. But we are looking back now at our Water Swift restricted race. We've got 30 seconds left to go, and this is the battle towards the back of the grid. That was your race leader, I believe, who has now dropped back further down the pack of the restricted grid. Was that?
I think it's Falat's still leading, I think.
Yes, but Woodall, I think, has dropped back slightly further than what we saw from him before. We'll have to see. But here is your Micromax being challenged for the second place once again. But Harry Riley can't quite get the move done. He's been on Schlavar's tail this entire time. Clock's hit 0. He's getting eager, he's getting impatient, but he still can't quite get the move done. Not just yet anyway. There is your race leader and second place off in the distance. That is the battle for third position between these two. But this is back to your Water Swift restricted leader, Falat, who has done a brilliant job so far controlling the race lead. Clock strikes 0 for these two as well, and there is Woodall right in the distance. Takes a look back behind him, the leader of your Water Swift restricted grid. Looks like he's going to be okay so far. There is blue flags out, which means there could be some confusion for the drivers now heading into the final lap.
Confusion for the drivers, confusion for us, if I have to be honest, but we're on the final lap. Wraith Owen, this is the battle for second though. Is Sliver going to be able to hold on? They're side by side, still side by side. They come together on the exit of Christmas. That's not what we want to see. They had such a good battle, but Sliver ends up tumbling down the order. I think Harry Riley has held on just about to that, or is that him? No, that's him dropping back in the background. That's going to allow Wraith Owen to run away with this one, but Will Wainwright is going to be promoted up to second. There he is, ahead of Caden Hanley, who's just about held on to this one. There's, Will Wainwright and Caden Hanley. Caden Hanley has a 5-second penalty from earlier in this race, but Will Wainwright is going to take a sudden second place after being nowhere near second and third in all of this. There is Wraith Owen taking a very comfortable victory. Fantastic race from Wraith. Second place is going to be Will Wainwright, followed by Caden Hanley. Kyle Vieira in fourth place, followed by Shekawat, Senna, Cale, Tandy, Alan and Harry Riley just about recovering to 10th place. Oh, wow.
And there was your restricted grid crossing the line. Look at him. Celebrates. There he goes. That was Falat
Yes.
to take the win just ahead of Waddle, who unfortunately just missed out, but should still be happy with that podium position.
Bobby Slater in third for the Water Swifts, followed by Louis Wilson. Logan Hodgetts, who did have a penalty for a 3-second penalty there, so will drop down. Cole Parrish is next, followed by Kagan Hakura and Ollie West. For a fairly mixed up section of that grid. We had a couple of blue flags, but that was such a shame to see the race end like that. Slivar and...
I know. And I am really disappointed for Harry Riley also, because that was a driver who was really fast, tried to wait patiently to make the move there for that third position, and just didn't find enough room there on the inside of Christmas Corner. But it was a brilliant drive from Harry Riley, the youngster among youngsters. But that is it as they head in after their final for Wilton Mill Kart Club Championships round 2, and we are on to our final 2 races of the day.
Where has the time gone? That has gone so quickly. We hope you've enjoyed this racing. We certainly have, over here in the comms box, live to the Slipstream broadcast. Remember, if you are watching this live, thank you very much for subscribing to Slipstream. And if you are watching this on Catchback, if you want to watch it live in the future and many other fantastic events, make sure you subscribe to Slipstream. Here we go then for Senior Max A Final. Here we go then, the A final. A few drivers repossaging from the B final earlier today, but these drivers are going to have 10 minutes plus 1 lap to see who comes out on top. Fantastically stacked grid for these Senior Max races, but even so today, on pole then is William Webb, followed by Noah Barham, both of which having fantastic heats earlier. Oliver Smith is on the last podium position for the grid. Victor Hansen, Nusafa Leathers and James Test to round out your top 6. Drew Preisner and Kieran Ives are followed by Rory Burke and Dejon Bennett to round out your top 10. Jonas Janasauskas is 11th place, followed by Jake Cox, both on row 6. Row 7 is Oliver Gibson and Ruben Mamalok. Ryan Hedge and Freddie Leppenwell go from row 8, followed by Alfie Thompson and Luke Richards. Rounding out your top 20 is Kieran Edgson and Max Sheldon Hayward. Joseph Orton and Charlie Neve go from row 11, followed by Jake Fisher and Will Forber. Row 13 will be Nojas Gedvilas, Ethan Martin, and followed by Molly Griffiths, Ryan Welsh, Dalton Norris, and Dexter Collins to round out your top 30. Last few drivers in this one, your repossage drivers, Ethan Hatch, Giugas Pravilonis, and Dylan Norris with Kenneth Cordell on the back row. Those are your 4 drivers who came up from the B final earlier. Great race from them. We saw some of the drivers in the C to B final get about halfway up the grid, but some of them had fantastic opening laps. Don't look away from them. They could make up the places in this one.
Oh, absolutely. And we know how tight it's going to get with our senior Rotax here. I think they could be in for a treat. They could definitely be in for a treat here, but you can see tensions building. Everyone is looking pretty stiff on the dummy grid for our senior Rotax, waiting with ambition and anticipation to go out. But we are waiting for a green flag, which shouldn't be too long now, and the stands are full for this one.
Oh yes, fantastic facilities at Wilton Mill. They built this clubhouse a few years ago, and at the time it was a state-of-the-art facility with this fantastic balcony spot that everyone is enjoying there, enjoying the sun shining off of people's heads, which is nice to see. Fantastic day out here at Wilton Mill. The weather has stayed lovely and sunny for all of us, which is exactly what you want, especially if you like those dry conditions. We are into that proper sort of spring, summertime of karting season now, but you never know in the UK, especially. There's tons of tracks that just seem to have their own weather systems all the time. I think there's someone
Looks
on
like
someone's
a very tall baby over there, I have to say.
Yes, very tall baby, but yeah, get them into one of the carts. They could probably get them in the senior Rotaxes.
Hey, it won't be long if that's what they're doing on their Sunday night at that age already. Won't be long before we see that child who is now all over the live stream in a cart, hopefully.
Definitely. I think some of these cadet drivers, stick a couple of them in a trench coat, one on top of the other, they can get into these senior finals. But our senior drivers, all very experienced, all very quick drivers. Some of the people at the sharp end, a couple of them just finishing up, getting ready there. But these are fantastic
Someone
grid
is not
of
in a
drivers.
rush.
Yeah, very, very calm, collected. Wondering if they're one of the junior drivers going for next race. I hope they are, because otherwise I'm going to have to waffle on for a little bit more here. No, it doesn't look like they are, because they're running back towards their carts. Here we go then. Forming up. Drivers getting their carts warmed up for their last race of the day. The senior Rotax drivers, these are rapid carts. Very light chassis, very sticky tyres, very quick engines and very strong brakes. Will the drivers be able to handle these carts and make their way to the front of this pack? But that's a great shot.
That is correct. Yeah, it is. You really get the feel for the speed there, don't you, as they come past all colours heading past your screen right now. But this top 5 is an interesting one. You've got a club champion in the top 5. New Shaft Leathers has been looking really strong so far. Victor Hansen and obviously William Webb, your pole sitter. Let's see what your pole sitter can do off the line for our penultimate final of the day, because we've got one more to go, and that will be more Junior Max that we are going to see. We have seen so much of our Junior Max class because there is 85 of them out there today, but let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet, because it's going to be a very slow start for our senior Rotax.
William Webb then on the right side of your screen, a DHR front row, Evolution Racing front row, rounding out. Down the tram lines we go, the revs rise and the smoke plumes. William Webb's going to get a good start, covers off the inside move. I think he's going to be followed in by the third place man, Victor Hansen, getting a good start. Going up the road, all drivers making it through the first couple turns cleanly. Can we get through Christmas corner? No! Bit of a bouncing driver, all facing the right direction though. And we are heading down to Ashby for the first time, but that's a great start from William Webb. And who is that in second place? I think it might be Victor Hansen, but Safa Leathers came across the line second place. So we'll see where Noosh ends up after that. But good start from most of the grid really there.
Absolutely. You had the straggler at the back who ended up over the grass but managed to rejoin the circuit. So it's a pretty clean lap then for our senior Rotax. First final of the day, you can see the whole pack charging. Some sideways action through the final chicane they go along the main straight. Let's have a look at our order then, heading into up towards Christmas corner now. It's Webb, Hansen, Tester, Rory Burke. Is this a move? Is this a move for the race lead? It is. That is Victor Hansen taking the race lead early on. Says no, looking behind him, and that is going to be car number 89, William Webb, that takes a look to have. He wants to have a look down the inside to get the race lead back, but he doesn't quite get it done. That is James Tester and Rory Burke then, but it is all getting very close here at the front. James Tester is going to be loving this in these early stages of the race. Look how quick these close drivers are. That is around the outside for car number 89, William Webb. What a brilliant move around the outside. And then there's some wheel banging, and that is car number 87, Rory Burke, out of contention now, out of his car, and that is the end to his day. How unfortunate.
Such a shame. That's not what you want to see, especially after a lightning move round the outside. William Webb getting the place back of Victor Hansen. That's a fantastic move to make. So late on the brakes and just beating them to that right-hand apex. Fantastic move. And these front two have broken away a little bit, all bunched up really close there. But the battling behind, such as this with Alfie Thompson going at the inside of Safa Leathers, who loses out there. Oh no, it's not Safa Leathers, apologies. That's Janasauskas in the 329 losing out, but managing to keep it in the right direction. Drivers Constantinaing up here. I thought that was someone round through that section. Luckily not though. You are watching the number 316 of Kieran Ives in 9th place. Hot fending off Kieran Edson. Still drivers finding their way through. Constantinaing in that last couple section. That doesn't work. It's two. I thought he was going to fire off into the wall. I had our hearts going there in the comms box. But William Webb leads this one. Fastest lap of the race. It's the first time he's had a slight bit of breathing room ahead of Victor Hansen, who've broken away ahead of James Tester. Will move up the inside. That's the number 15 with the back wheel perked up so high up in the air. Will Forber making the move there on, I think it was Janasauskas. Yeah, Janasauskas down to 11th place, but managing just about to fend off Jake Fisher. 72 here of Kieran Edson, giving a little bump to Will Forber, who's made the move up into 9th place. Good few opening laps for Will Forber. Up from 24th up to 9th place. What a start for him. But still 6 minutes 40 left to go in this one, plus another lap. Alfie Thompson takes your fastest lap, but that's a great start.
That is one driver to watch out for the rest of the race, for sure. I mean, we've had so much wheel banging go on for the start of this Senior Rotax final. We have had 2 wheels on the grass at times and drivers just dipping those wheels, kicking up all the dust, but still managing to make it off onto the circuit. This is the battle slightly further down the pack with the 329 cart of Janavuskas. This is the battle for just outside the top 10. This is how close the battling is getting. This is just outside the top 10 still. This is Janavuskas trying to go around. Oh, makes the move down the inside, but there's a bang on the wheels and he doesn't get it done. He slots back into that 11th position on the grid. Another lap complete though, and you can see your leader off in the distance because your leader is leading by 4 tenths. That is Victor Hansen, and James Test is still there in that 3rd place. But this is more chopping and changing down the pack. Everyone goes single file through Christmas Corner for the first time that we have seen this race, but there is still just under 6 minutes plus a lap to go. Alfie Thompson is the fastest driver on track, but that is a move down the inside, brilliantly done by 329. That is
Dijon Bennett on the inside of the 329 is definitely not happy. He's in an absolute melee here and tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, losing out big time. I think about 4 positions in just as many corners. Real shame, as Janusauskas has not had the start to this race that he wanted, and they're side by side through the last corner. How have they managed to get through there? The number 13 of Ruben Mamelok trying to pick up on the scraps of Janusauskas at his demise at this stage of the race. But Hansen is closing in. He's got the fastest lap of the race with the 46 dead. Whoa, back to Mamelok though. He makes the move up the inside of Janusauskas, losing more positions. Now Jake Cox is trying to get involved. Just about defending, hanging on to this is Janusauskas, but there goes Ruben Mamelok up to 14th place, apologies. And Paul Janusauskas is dropping down like a lead balloon here. Move behind, that's the number 50 going up the inside of Matt Sheldon Haywood. Good move from Dylan Norris there. Drivers filing into the booth, 4.5 minutes, plus 1 lap left. That gap at the top is down to 0.2 of a second. Side by side we go further down the pack. Battles going on absolutely everywhere in this 34 kart grid. These are some of our repechage drivers trying to make the moves, making their way up the top. A lot of big movers in this one. Jake Fisher's up 10 places. Not just Gedvilas. Gedvilas is one of our repechage drivers, I think. No, he's not. Apologies. No, he's up from 25th to 12th. Great
Brilliant
race.
job, though.
Yeah, brilliant races. But some of our front as well. Gibson up 8. Alfie Thompson up 11. But, big crash on the exit of Christmas Corner. Both drivers out the car, but that's the number 11 of Dalton Norris making contact with someone. Dalton Norris flipped. I'm hoping he wasn't in the car when it was flipped, but he was out the car. But that's going to be some yellow flags, some neutralised racing. I think we're down to full course yellow. Yes. Full course yellow then.
Slow boards are out for the drivers. That will be a full slow circuit now, so no more overtaking. The fastest driver on track was Alfie Thompson in 6th. Be a shame for him to not have the next 3 minutes able to see what he can gain of those positions, but let's hope that driver is okay. Is that the driver?
I think that was Dalton Norris.
Let's hope that he is okay. He is sat on the bank getting seen to by the marshals now, who of course have done a brilliant job so far at looking after people. Here we see another one of our Orange Army, and there is another driver that missed out unfortunately in the final. It's not been a brilliant run for the finals in terms of recoveries.
No, it's not been very good. I mean, those 2 drivers, like we saw, they look okay. They're out the cart.
Yeah.
Hopefully they are not injured, but that has obviously, with the cart flipped in particular in the middle of the racetrack, Marshall's going to have the space and time to collect that cart, so all of the drivers are going to bunch up behind the leader, form one big old snake full of carts, but that's going to neutralise the race and bunch these front lot back up, especially William Webb and Victor Hansen. I think that might have been a saving grace for William Webb, because he was really being caught hand over fist. Was Victor Hansen taking chunks and chunks of time out of him slowly across the course of the middle part of that race, but hopefully we're going to get a chance to go back racing here.
However, if we do, this is opening some serious opportunity for the likes of James Tester, Preisner, Gibson, and even Alfie Thompson, who has been setting purples recently in this race.
Yeah, those top 6, all within 2 tenths of each other on their fastest laps. The pace is so equal, so it's all going to be down if we do go back racing to those last couple moments. Last few laps, are we going to see any desperation? Are we going to see any smart moves? Are we going to see any more crashes? Hopefully we get to see that and we get back going racing again. But for now, full course yellow drivers keeping their tyres warm, and all following line astern behind William Webb.
Two drivers who have done a brilliant job so far making their way up the pack, Kieran Edgerton and Will Forber. It'll be interesting to see what else they can do for the remainder of this race if we get racing, if we get undergoing with racing once again, which it looks like we are. Yes, you can see green flag is out. What can your race leader do now then? 1 minute and 14 seconds on the clock plus the lap, and he is gone. He is absolutely gone in the distance. Victor Hansen, James Testa, Drew Preisner and Oliver Gibson chase to see what they can do with that race leader. He is side by side now into Christmas Corner, goes further down the pack. It looks like we nearly had some grassroots, but everyone makes it through Christmas Corner okay, and this is the rest of the field heading through for one of the final times of this race. Let's see what can your leader do.
That was a textbook restart from William Webb. Kind of thing you'd see in F1 where the driver waits and waits and goes when they're not expecting it. But Victor Hansen has caught back up on this second lap. William Webb, the race is not over yet. Here is your battle further down the field for third place, Drew Preisner's up into third ahead of James Testa. Gibson, Thompson, Safa Leathers, Ives, Edgerton and Forber round out your top 10. Alfie Thompson gets the jump on Oliver Gibson.
Look at this.
5 wide we go down further in the pack as we go into the first couple corners. Do they all get through cleanly? I think they do. Good racing from all of those drivers. But look at the front. Victor Hansen is bumper to bumper with William Webb. Are we going to see? They've only got 2 laps of this one left to go. They have broken away cleanly, so it's probably going to be just between those two as a dogfight for the lead. I think Hansen's gone up the inside. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong Evolution car. Apologies. William Webb still in the lead of this one. Hansen has only got a lap and a tiny bit left to go. Battles all the way down the field. The 88 and the 55 duking it out here. 55 with Ethan Martin losing out quite a lot on that lap. Here's your leaders. Bumper to bumper. Here we go. Last lap of this one.
Final lap of the race then, and it is between William Webb and Victor Hansen once again. 1/10 in between them. What can these drivers do then for the last lap of their final and textbook move? Victor Hansen goes down the inside, but he doesn't get the move done because William Webb takes the lead back, and they have a bit of wheel banging, and that is Victor Hansen that misses out, drops all the way down the pack, and this is another Evolution car now absolutely drifting over the grass, missing out on loads of positions.
Alfie Thompson.
He is going to rejoin the circuit. Alfie Thompson is in the middle of the back of the pack. There is some more wheel banging now and some sideways across the grass. Goes another driver towards the back of the field. This is on the final lap of the race. All while William Webb is coming across the line in that first position. Drew Preisner ended up taking second place due to the wheel banging that went on in the last lap. Oliver Gibson, Victor Hansen, James Testa down into that 5th position, and new Safa Leathers into 6th place. Not too sure he'll be that happy with that, but Kieran Ives, Will Forber and Alfie Thompson, who still got your fastest lap on track, not top 10.
I really don't know what happened there, because William Webb left the door open just enough for Victor Hansen to have a look, and he did. But Hansen just didn't get the run out of the corner, so they just came together and were going for the same piece of tarmac. I think William Webb was expecting Hansen to be a lot further when he was doing the cutback, and they just smacked together. 2 karts become 1. They both managed to finish, luckily. William Webb just about hanging on ahead of Drew Preisner, who picks up the scraps of that alongside Oliver Gibson. James Testa stays around 5th, and Safa Leathers, all of that rest of that top 10. Alfie Thompson with that grass excursion just about hangs on to 9th. Impressive stuff after being nowhere near the track surface for the end of that exit of Ashby on the last lap. But
and it was an unfortunate end for that driver. Didn't end up finishing, the reason for the slow boards, but hopefully he is okay. He's seen that walking off the circuit there with the marshal, so hopefully he is okay. Here you go. That is it, and that is it for our senior Rotaxes for today. We have seen lots of them. A B final. How did our B finalists do heading through?
I tell you what, Pravalonis, 32nd to 12th. What a fantastic race.
Brilliant.
Where were the others? 33rd to... Who is that? Dylan Norris, 33rd to 17th. Great race from him. Other repêchages with Kenneth Caudle up to 22nd. I told you. They'd all have good races. Ethan Hatch as well up to 20th. Fantastic stuff from them. But that is the end of our Senior Max, and we're over to the last final of the day of the Junior Maxes. Last race of the day. I can't believe we're saying that already. This day has gone so quickly. Action-packed day full of brilliant races. Some carnage and some fantastic results for some of our drivers. We hope you've really enjoyed this one, and we hope you're going to enjoy this last Junior Max final for the record number of drivers for Junior Max.
I know, don't go anywhere just yet, but let's take a look at our grid. That is Tom Reed once again on pole position, joined by Teddy Cooper on the front row of the grid. Ryan Rapini and Blake Southern on the second row, and Zach Turner and Alex Shepard are right behind. Theo Bradshaw and Max Wheatley on row 4, and Harrison Bishop and Joseph Beckery round out the top 10 then for our final heat of the day. Logan Hartshorn and Kartik Kumeta in the top 12. Oliver Peters and Peter Lee are next. Miles Burton and Noah Moulton. Jensen Powers and Nathan Rond. Row 10 is Benjamin Lawn, Finley Strang, Tigran Grijon, Arthur Murphy, Cooper Campbell Lees and Oliver Barton. Tobias Johns, Shay Hilton, Holly King, Liam Crosby, Archie Ray Watson and Lewis Gilbert round out your top 30, and then towards the back of this Junior Max grid is Jensen Walker, Nelson Taylor, Daniel Adamitis and Noah Clare, who your B finalists are. You'll be able to see what they are able to do. Through the B final, into the final, they'll be grateful for their position. We saw them straggling for the race lead in the B final. Let's see what they're able to do in this race.
It's 12th place to beat for the Reposages, but that race was a chaotic one. There was plenty of opportunities for the drivers at the back to pick up any free places in that one. Let's see if they're going to have the same chance here. Those at the front are certainly hoping that's not going to be the case. Tom Reed on pole alongside Teddy Cooper. These drivers are going to slowly come round the boot. Iconic corner here at Wilton Mill. We really hope you've had a fantastic day. We certainly have, watching some great racing. These two are the top drivers from the heats, heading up the biggest ever Junior Max grid of 84 drivers that we've ever seen at Wilton Mill Kart Club. Who's going to take the lead for this huge grid? Teddy Cooper and Tom Reed take us to the lights for the last race of the day. Tom Reed gets a good start, just about ahead as we go through the first couple corners. Drivers 2 by 2 as we head up the long hill towards Christmas. Defensive goes Cooper into the outside. Can they make it stick? The side by side through Christmas, the leaders. Do they make it work? I think they just about do, and so does the rest of the grid. All through cleanly as we head down the hill to Ashby, and it's going to be Tom Reed clinging onto the lead, and Teddy Cooper losing out, I think, to Ryan Rapini, getting up to second in all of that melee. But all the drivers getting through well as we head into the infield section for the first time. These A finalists getting through very cleanly, proving why they've done so well in this competition so far, but still 9 minutes and a lap to go for the drivers to sort themselves out. But at the moment it's Tom Reed leading Teddy Cooper and Ryan Rapini.
Exactly, do not go anywhere yet, because this is the first lap complete of a long 9 minute plus a lap race, and it was a textbook start for your pole sitter Tom Reed, who's done a really good job so far this weekend. He is going to be getting his head down, because so far we have seen our race leaders in these finals set off, but Ryan Rapini and Teddy Cooper are eager to not let that happen. We've got some sideways action but a bit further down the pack. That was car number 29, just losing out ever so slightly after a bang of the wheels further down the pack. Here we have Alex Shepard in the battle for that 5th to 9th position. We've got some wheel banging further down the pack again. Car number 16 as they head through the middle sector of this lap. Once again, chopping and changing for positions in the early stage of the race. We've had a change for the race lead in the meantime. That is Ryan Rapini that is now up into the race lead. Tom Reed down into that second position already, but there is still a chance for him as they are right on the back bumper. However, Teddy Cooper is putting some pressure on now. Your top 3 look like they're going to pull a bit of a distance, but that is not going to work, because Tom Reed wastes no time and he goes straight back into the race lead. The Kiddix Cot now second and third together, pushing on to Tom Reed.
Great move. Ryan Rapini did really well to chip away at the fastest drivers from our heats, but can't quite hold on. Tom Reed had an immediate reply. These front 3 have got a tiny bit of space, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. 12 cars within 2.5 seconds of each other, 7.5 minutes and a lap to go. This is all still to play for. Any of these drivers can win this race. Max Wheatley, for example, in 11th place, fastest lap of the race with a 47.8, half a second quicker than our leaders. Scratch that. Tom Reed goes fastest with a 47.6. That's really important at this early stage of the race. He's got a bit of breathing room ahead of Ryan Rapini, making sure that no moves go on. Again, moves having a look defensive there. from Joseph Berkery, defending from Kartik Kometa, just about hanging on, but that's left a bit of a gap up ahead. This front pack is going to start spreading out slowly, but at the moment Tom Reed heads it up ahead of Ryan Rapini, Teddy Cooper, Zach Turner, Theo Bradshaw, Alex Shepard, Blake Southern, Harrison Bishop, Josh Berkery and Kartik Kometa are your top 10 here.
Brilliant racing so far. Tom Reed back up into the lead of the race. And Ryan Rapini, Teddy Cooper, Zach Turner, Theo Bradshaw are your top 5 so far. But this is the train of the junior Rotax drivers that are heading through this field. All 34 drivers that we have out on circuit. Was there a change for a race lead? No, not just yet, but they are getting pretty close as Rapini sets the fastest lap of the race, your fastest driver out on circuit, and he is putting pressure on your race leader, but further down the pack, some grassroots, and that is the unfortunate end to Theo Bradshaw's shot at winning round 2 here at the Wilton Mill Kart Club Championships. This is your final of the day, and this is the battle you are watching down in the mid-pack position. We've got the shaking of some heads down there, a not very happy driver, that is part number 99 in 3rd position, that is battling it out. He's about to be put under some pressure though, he needs to get his foot down. Tom Reed sets fastest lap again, extending his gap to just under half a second, giving himself a little bit of breathing room halfway through this race.
Tom Reed and Ryan Rapini, you can see there at the bottom of your shot, they've broken away. Zach Turner evidently batting a little bit, but fending off the drivers behind. I think he's quite grateful about that spin from Theo Bradshaw because it spaced them out a little bit. At one point, he probably had about 15 drivers all breathing down his neck, trying to make the move past. But at the moment, it's Tom Reed and Ryan Rapini who've broken away at the top of your shot there. Zach Turner, Teddy Cooper and Alex Shepard. Oh, driver up across the grass. That's the number 51. Who is that? Noah Moulton, who was in the mid-pack. Also taking, I think, the nose cone came off of one of the other, or the Nassau panel, sorry, not the nose cone, coming off of one of the other carts. So hopefully everyone's all right there. Everyone's still facing the right direction. But like we say, Tom Reed, Ryan Rapini, Zach Turner, Alex Shepard now up into second ahead of Teddy Cooper, sets the fastest lap. But this top 4 are separated by 0.05 of a second. Move for 4th place. That's Teddy Cooper getting back ahead of Alex Shepard. That's giving Zach Turner a bit of breathing room for the first time. Up the inside again goes Alex Shepard. These two are battling it out almost every opportunity they've got. Look at Harrison Bishop now getting involved. Kartik Kometa is up from 10th to 7th and on the scene just at the right time as these two are battling. It's bringing everyone into this. 10th place, Logan Harshawn is only a couple seconds off of this pack that you can see. Meanwhile, the top 2 are just off there. They're going. Zach Turner's on a warpath trying to chase him down, but Alex Shepard just about clinging on to 4th place there, but they're losing time to the leaders.
Yeah, you say that about your race leaders, but Ryan Rapini has strung Tom Reed in by 0.2 that lap, and look, it's getting close now as you see your leaders off in the distance heading through Christmas Corner. No change just yet. They are going to be clever because there is 4 minutes still left of this final, and they are no strangers to how fast those positions can change. This is the battle for 4th position. Shepard has got himself up into 4th, but he has now got pressure from those 3 carts behind. This is the battle even further down the pack then, but nonetheless going side by side. That is that 100 cart down the inside, promoting himself up another position. And grassroots further down. Who is that?
Alex Shepard. Alex Shepard is off from 4th place, and look at Harrison Bishop is up to 4th now. Teddy Cooper stays 5th. No idea what happened there. It looked like it was before the boot. Even the braking zone before the boot. They must have come together along the straight. That's a nightmare for Shepard. He was setting fast lap times, but he's lost out, dropped to 10th. He's not out of this one yet. Oh, side by side. Who is that? That is the numbers 116 of Jensen Powers, just managing just about to fend off Oliver Peters, I think that is. Yes, Oliver Peters, though, almost going for an immediate reply, but not able to make it work. Jensen Powers is just about fending off this hungry batch of carts involving Alex Shepard, who's trying to make a recovery here. Side by side between Southern. Oh, the number 100 just making inroads there. Arthur Murfitt losing out positions there as well. Number 53, you can see on your screen there, heads up this pack. Ooh. Oh, wow. This is for all still battling side by side. Shepard desperately trying to cling on to these positions. He's all the way down to, where is he now? 15th. Oh, that's a shame. But these leaders are breaking away. It's now a 3-car battle up the lead. Battle for 4th is breaking away. And then this pack that you can see here. Oh, side-by-side contact. Driver takes avoiding action on the grass. That's going to kick up gravel, and drivers together behind. Still together, still together. Number 195 and the 29 have come together. That is Archie Ray Watson and Peter Lee who are battling for the lower end of the teens.
Peter Lee, another unlucky race for him. He had an unlucky heat, another unlucky race. Those drivers found the grassroots, only 2 minutes to go, but they are now out of this race and they will be out of their carts. I don't think they're able to rejoin though. This is the battle there for... What is the battle? This is the battle for further down the pack, or 20th position, and it is all still going off here towards the back of the grid. But that is Logan Hartshorn, who is your fastest driver on the circuit, in 7th position. Where can he get to for the remainder of this race? Tom Reed still leads. There is a move down the inside once again. Is that Shepherd? No, that is Southern promoting himself up into that 12th position. We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds plus a lap to go.
It's not long left. These leaders are broken away. They've probably got the lead they need. The number 116 here, Jensen Powers, corking the bottle of the top 10. He's just about holding on to that position. Here we see number 82 of Teddy Cooper up into 4th place ahead of Harrison Bishop. We didn't see that on our screens, but he's ahead and into 4th. So your order at the moment is Tom Reed, Ryan Rapini, Zach Turner, Teddy Cooper, Harrison Bishop, Kartik Kometa, Logan Hartshorn, Max Wheatley, Joseph Barkery and Jensen Powers, but maybe not for long. That's Teddy Cooper just holding on there. Sorry, Harrison Bishop just holding on there to 4th place. Teddy Cooper is flying up the road already with that little bit of gap he's got. Kartik Kometa is looking to pick up the scraps from Harrison Bishop, obviously smelling blood here as they head into the infield section for probably the third to last time. Only 40 seconds left on the clock. Someone off there at turn 1, I think that was. Are we going to see a yellow flag through that section and stop one of the potential optimum corners for battling? But your leaders, driver off into the wall. That's the 29 again. I think he might have had an issue after that incident earlier, but he's out the cart and over the wall and into safety. It's a shame. Peter Lee not having the race that he wanted here. But 20 seconds and a lap to go.
No, not at all. But here you go then. This is the 2 Kiddix carts leading you through. This is the battle for 4th position, leading you through, but here is your race leader. Let's give him a moment because he has got a pretty good gap so far. He's now 6/10 down the road in the Thule Motorsport kart, and the clock has struck 0, so this will be the penultimate lap that we are about to head on to shortly. Further down the pack though, Kiddix Scott still battling it out for that 4th position on the grid. It's getting close. Clock strikes 0, out the final chicane they go. What can these drivers do for the last remainder of this race? Like you said, yellow flags out due to that cart on the outside of turn 2, but here is your race leader through Christmas corner. No need to look behind him because Ryan Rapini isn't quite there yet. Zach Turner also. Those 3 are in pretty clean air. It's going to be a case of bringing it home for these 3, but that is not going to be the case for 4th position, because are we going to see a change? Harrison Bishop is hot on the heels of Teddy Cooper, and Kartik Kometa and Logan Hartshorn are there ready to pick up the pieces when these 3 start battling. But we're on the final lap of the race now, and there is your race leader, Tom Reed, through the final chicane once again. Brilliant job from him, takes the win. Huge celebration. Ryan Rapini and Zach Turner. Smooth race for the 3 drivers out on the podium positions of the circuit. I don't know what happened there further down the grid, but that will be Teddy Cooper in 4th, Harrison Bishop, Kartik Kometa, Logan Hartshorn, Joseph Berkery and Max Wheatley. Blake Southern rounding out the top 10. I tell you what, that did not disappoint for our last race of the day.
Not at all. Props to Tom Reed, Ryan Rapini and Zach Turner with a fantastic run for all 3 of them, Tom Reed taking the win for this record-sized grid for the Wilton Mill Kart Club Junior Max competition. But that is our racing done for today, and Tom Reed rounds us out. We had some great battling there for 4th. It was a shame to see drivers like Peter Lee getting caught up in some bad incidents at the end there. Hopefully all of the drivers that have gone off are okay. Obviously our best wishes to all of the drivers from earlier incidents in the day as well. We unfortunately don't have an update for you on any of those, but in the meantime, drivers filing in. There's still a chance that some of these can make up some positions from drivers ahead getting the penalties, but obviously we hope that all of the racing has been fair and clean and all of their bumpers are in the right place.
Absolutely. For the last time today, we will see all bumpers getting checked. It's going to be an anxious one for the 315 car as he shakes his head as he goes past.
Make sure to check the results on Alpha Live. The Alpha Live results service is a fantastic swing and find all of the results, plenty of data, very useful data and results from this weekend's racing, including all of the results after any necessary penalties are applied. But for now, we're going to crown Tom Reed as the Junior Max final winner. Huge congratulations to all of the other final winners today on a record entry for Wilton Mill Kart Club. Fantastic to see this brilliant track getting the flowers it deserves, and the entries for a brilliant, brilliant race weekend all throughout this weekend being brought to you on Slipstream. Remember, if you are watching this live, thank you once again for subscribing to the Slipstream service. If you are watching this on Countback or any clips of anything, then please do consider subscribing to Slipstream to make sure you get access to all of the best content when it airs.
They have to be subscribed to Slipstream to be listening to this right now with us live from here, so thank you and tell your friends.
Hello. Tell everybody. But yes, it's been an absolutely brilliant day. I'm going to hand over to you for doing a mammoth effort this morning. Once again, well done for holding the fort down this morning. Apologies for my tardiness.
Thank you very much.
Wasn't really my fault.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jake, last minute here in the commentary box. And thank you all. That is round 2 of the Wilton Mill Kart Club Championships, all finished and wrapped up here. We hope to see you soon next month. You would joined myself, Pure Lynch, and Jake in the commentary box for this Slipstream broadcast powered by Alpha Live Productions. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you soon.